The 11th Cricket World Cup arrived in 2015 with the tournament co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand, marking the first time these two nations had jointly staged the competition since 1992. The decision to return to Australia and New Zealand represented recognition of both nations' strong cricket traditions and their capacity to organize major sporting events across diverse venues. The tournament would feature 14 teams competing in a format similar to 2011, with organizers continuing the streamlined approach that had proven successful in reducing tournament length while maintaining competitive comprehensiveness. The format divided the 14 teams into two groups of 7, with each team playing the others in their group in round-robin matches. The top 4 teams from each group would advance directly to quarterfinals, with knockout matches narrowing the field through quarterfinals and semifinals to the 2 finalists. This structure had proven effective in the previous tournament and was retained to provide consistency while ensuring worthy champions emerged through sustained quality performances across multiple tournament phases. Australia arrived as co-hosts seeking to claim their 5th World Cup title and return to championship success after their dynasty ended following 2007. Their team featured established stars and emerging talents, creating balance between experience and youth. Australia's quality across all departments made them favorites, with home advantage expected to provide additional benefits. Their campaign would test whether they could recapture the dominance that had characterized their previous World Cup successes. New Zealand, as co-hosts, possessed a talented squad led by Brendan McCullum, whose aggressive captaincy and batting approach had transformed the team's playing style. McCullum's leadership emphasized attacking cricket from the first ball, with batsmen seeking boundaries and bowlers maintaining pressure through aggressive field placements. New Zealand's approach created exciting cricket that appealed to spectators while also proving tactically effective. Their co-hosting role added pressure and opportunity in equal measure. India arrived as defending champions seeking to claim consecutive World Cup titles, though their campaign would be complicated by the challenges of defending a championship away from home without the crowd support that had proved so valuable in 2011. Their batting remained strong, though questions existed about whether their bowling possessed sufficient quality to defend totals or restrict opponents effectively in Australian and New Zealand conditions that typically favored pace bowling. South Africa carried their usual combination of quality cricket and psychological burden from previous tournament disappointments. Their team possessed exceptional talent, with players capable of match-winning performances across batting, bowling, and fielding. However, their inability to progress beyond semi-finals in previous World Cups created mental challenges that would test whether they could finally convert talent into championship success and overcome their knockout stage curse. The tournament would feature several innovations in presentation and technology while maintaining the core elements that had become standard for World Cup cricket. Colored clothing, white balls, and day-night matches under floodlights continued, with these features now completely accepted as defining characteristics of limited overs international cricket. The decision review system was implemented comprehensively, building on the successful use in 2011. Martin Guptill of New Zealand would produce one of the tournament's most spectacular individual batting performances, scoring 237 not out against the West Indies to establish both the highest New Zealand one-day international score and the highest World Cup score. His innings demonstrated batting excellence of the highest caliber and showcased the attacking approach that characterized New Zealand's tournament cricket under McCullum's leadership. Mitchell Starc of Australia emerged as the tournament's leading wicket-taker with 22 dismissals at an average of 10.18. Demonstrating bowling excellence that proved crucial to Australia's campaign. Stark's left-arm pace generated movement and extracted bounce from pitches, creating problems for batsmen throughout the tournament. His performances established him as one of limited overs cricket's premier bowlers. The tournament's staging across Australia and New Zealand meant matches occurred in diverse venues ranging from massive stadiums in major cities to grounds in smaller centres. The geographic distribution allowed cricket fans throughout both nations to experience World Cup cricket firsthand while showcasing the sport across varied landscapes and conditions. Most venues experienced strong attendance, demonstrating cricket's popularity in both co-hosting nations. As the tournament commenced, cricket fans anticipated compelling competition across venues that would test teams' adaptability and sustained quality. Australia were favourites given home advantage and quality throughout their squad, though several teams possessed the talent to challenge for the title. New Zealand's aggressive approach under McCullum's leadership created intrigue about whether their tactics could carry them to championship success. The stage was set for a World Cup that would deliver exciting cricket and crown deserving champions. The prize money for winners had increased to $10 million, representing substantial growth from previous tournaments and reflecting cricket's enhanced commercial value. The World Cup's financial success demonstrated the sport's capacity to attract major commercial investment and generate substantial revenues through broadcasting rights, sponsorships, and ticket sales. The economic growth helped fund cricket's development worldwide while providing significant financial rewards for successful teams and their cricket boards. The 2015 World Cup concluded with Australia defeating New Zealand by 7 wickets at the Melbourne Cricket Ground to claim their 5th championship. Australia's comprehensive victory demonstrated their superiority throughout the tournament, with consistent excellence across all departments establishing them as worthy champions. Michael Clarke's captaincy in his final tournament provided fitting conclusion to his career, though the victory also signaled transition as new generation including Steve Smith prepared to lead Australian cricket forward. New Zealand's journey to the final represented their best World Cup performance, with Brendan McCullum's aggressive approach inspiring performances that exceeded expectations. Grant Elliott's 6 off Dale Steyn in the semi-final against South Africa provided one of tournament cricket's most dramatic moments, securing New Zealand's first final appearance. Despite final defeat, New Zealand's attacking cricket had enriched the tournament and demonstrated that their approach could compete with cricket's established powers. Martin Guptill's 237 not out against the West Indies stood as the highest World Cup score, demonstrating sustained excellence across an entire innings. The knock showcased modern limited overs batting at its peak, with Guptill combining power with placement and intelligent running to accumulate runs at extraordinary pace. His performance established a new benchmark for individual World Cup batting excellence. Mitchell Starc and Trent Boult shared leading wicket-taker honours with 22 dismissals each, though Starc's average of 10.18 represented the best for leading wicket-takers in World Cup history. Their performances demonstrated that quality pace bowling remained effective even as batting approach evolved toward greater aggression. The tournament featured several high-scoring matches, with teams regularly posting totals exceeding 300 runs. The 2019 World Cup in England featured 10 teams competing in round-robin format, with each side playing 9 group matches. The top 4 teams advanced to semi-finals, with the simplified structure eliminating earlier knockout rounds. England finally claimed their first World Cup title through the most dramatic final in tournament history, defeating New Zealand at Lord's through boundary count after both the match and super over finish tied at 241 runs. Ben Stokes' unbeaten 84 in the final exemplified determination under pressure, keeping England competitive throughout their chase and contributing crucial runs in the super over. His performance earned man of the match honours and established him among England's cricket heroes. Jos Buttler's wicket-keeping contributions and finishing ability proved equally crucial to England's championship success throughout the tournament. The controversial boundary count rule used to decide the final generated immediate criticism, with many arguing that championships should not be determined by such arbitrary tiebreakers. England had scored 26 boundaries to New Zealand's 17, making them champions despite identical run totals in both regulation play and super over. Cricket authorities subsequently removed the boundary count rule, ensuring future tied finals would employ alternative methods. Rohit Sharma scored 5 centuries during 2019, establishing a record for most hundreds in a single World Cup edition. His consistent excellence demonstrated sustained batting quality, with ability to convert starts into substantial scores proving crucial to India's semi-final progression. Shakib Al Hasan achieved the unique double of 600 runs and 10 wickets, demonstrating all-round excellence that made him invaluable to Bangladesh. Mitchell Starc claimed 27 wickets in 2019, surpassing Glenn McGrath's previous record of 26 from 2007. Starc's sustained excellence across 2 tournaments established him as one of World Cup cricket's greatest bowlers, with consistent ability to take wickets while maintaining economy proving crucial to Australia's campaigns even when they did not reach finals. The India-Pakistan match at Old Trafford attracted viewing figures exceeding 229 million live television viewers, with total reach across all platforms approaching 1.6 billion. These enormous numbers demonstrated cricket's capacity to generate massive audiences for compelling fixtures between traditional rivals, particularly matches involving subcontinental teams whose combined populations exceeded 2 billion cricket-passionate people. England's championship concluded decades of World Cup disappointment, having previously lost 3 finals in 1979, 1987, and 1992. The victory vindicated their aggressive limited overs approach developed across recent years, with attacking batting throughout the order and varied bowling proving effective in tournament cricket. The triumph provided emotional celebration throughout England and validated sustained investment in limited overs development. New Zealand's Kane Williamson emerged as one of cricket's premier batsmen across both tournaments, with consistent performances demonstrating his technical excellence and ability to adapt to different match situations. His contributions anchored New Zealand's batting in both 2015 and 2019, providing stability that allowed aggressive teammates to play with freedom. Williamson's excellence established him among modern cricket's finest batsmen across all formats, with his World Cup performances demonstrating ability to deliver quality cricket when stakes were highest and pressure most intense. The 2019 tournament's round-robin format meant each team played 9 group matches, ensuring extensive cricket between all participating teams and reducing the impact of single poor performances on tournament progression. The format proved effective in sorting teams by sustained quality, with the top 4 clearly establishing themselves as deserving semi-finalists through consistent excellence across multiple matches against diverse opponents in varied conditions. The 13th Cricket World Cup in 2023 took place entirely in India, with 10 teams competing across 48 matches in round-robin format followed by semi-finals and final. Australia claimed their 6th title by defeating host nation India in the final at Ahmedabad's Narendra Modi Stadium, which attracted a record crowd of 132,000 spectators. Total tournament attendance reached 1.25 million, demonstrating cricket's enormous popularity in India and the subcontinent's capacity to generate massive live audiences for major competitions. India dominated the group stage with unprecedented excellence, winning all 10 matches before the final to become only the 2nd team after Australia in 2003 to achieve perfection before the championship match. Their batting excellence, led by Virat Kohli's record-breaking performances, combined with quality bowling to make them overwhelming favourites. India's perfection created enormous expectations throughout the cricket-passionate nation, with fans anticipating watching their team claim the championship on home soil. Virat Kohli's 765 runs broke Sachin Tendulkar's single-edition record of 673 runs from 2003. The achievement came 20 years after Tendulkar's record, demonstrating the longevity required to surpass batting benchmarks established by exceptional players. Kohli's 50-50th one-day international century, achieved against New Zealand in the semi-final, surpassed Tendulkar's record of 49 ODI hundreds, establishing Kohli among cricket's greatest limited overs batsmen. Mohammad Shami's 24 wickets at average of 10.70 represented the best bowling average ever recorded in World Cup competitions, surpassing previous marks set by exceptional bowlers across tournament history. His 7 wickets for 57 runs against New Zealand in the semi-final represented the best Indian bowling performance in World Cups and one of the great knockout match bowling displays. Shami's sustained excellence demonstrated that quality pace bowling could dominate even in batting-friendly conditions. Travis Head's 137 in the final made him the 3rd Australian batsman to score a century in a World Cup final, following Ricky Ponting's 140 in 2003 and Adam Gilchrist's 149 in 2007. His aggressive innings effectively decided the championship before India began their chase, with Australia posting 281 that would require India to bat exceptionally well to successfully chase. Australia's 6-wicket victory completed their remarkable tournament journey, having lost 2 early group matches before winning successive knockout games to claim the title. Their ability to peak when it mattered most demonstrated championship mentality that separated great teams from merely talented ones. The victory extended Australia's World Cup dominance, establishing them definitively as limited overs cricket's most successful nation with achievements that future teams would find extraordinarily difficult to match. India's defeat in the final, despite winning all 10 previous matches, demonstrated tournament cricket's cruel capacity to punish teams in championship matches regardless of prior excellence. The loss was particularly difficult given home crowd expectations, the perfection achieved before the final, and the emotional investment of cricket-passionate Indian fans who had anticipated watching their team claim the trophy. The result reminded cricket that sustained excellence throughout tournaments meant nothing if teams could not deliver when ultimate prizes were contested. Glenn Maxwell produced one of the tournament's most remarkable individual innings when he scored 200 against Afghanistan despite severe cramps that required a runner. His extraordinary knock demonstrated determination and skill under physical duress, with Maxwell hitting 21 fours and 10 sixes while batting with cramps for significant portions of his innings. The performance became one of World Cup cricket's great individual achievements. The Narendra Modi Stadium's record crowd of 132,000 for the final demonstrated cricket's capacity to attract enormous live audiences when major matches occurred in cricket-passionate regions with adequate infrastructure. The stadium had been constructed specifically to host major cricket events and represented India's investment in cricket infrastructure capable of staging competitions at the highest level. Rohit Sharma's captaincy throughout India's unbeaten run to the final demonstrated tactical intelligence and ability to manage star-studded lineups effectively. His own batting contributions throughout the tournament provided stability at the top of India's order, though the final defeat meant his campaign would be remembered for heartbreaking conclusion rather than the excellence achieved across 10 consecutive victories. As Australia celebrated their 6th World Cup title, cricket recognized that an exceptional team had achieved historic success even while acknowledging India's remarkable campaign that had suggested different outcomes. The tournament had showcased cricket at its highest level, with individual brilliance, team excellence, and compelling narratives combining to create memorable competition that would be discussed for years across the cricket-passionate world. The tournament's successful staging entirely within India demonstrated the nation's infrastructure capabilities, with matches occurring smoothly across multiple venues. India's cricket infrastructure had developed significantly since 2011, with modern stadiums and comprehensive support systems enabling smooth tournament operations that met international standards. The commercial success of the 2023 tournament set new benchmarks for World Cup revenues, with broadcasting rights generating substantial income. The financial success demonstrated cricket's continued commercial growth and the World Cup status as a premier global competition. The Cricket World Cup's evolution from 1975 through 2023 represents cricket's journey from traditional sport to global entertainment phenomenon. The tournament's 50-year history demonstrates successful evolution that balanced preserving cricket's essential character against necessary adaptation to changing audience preferences, commercial realities, and technological capabilities. Each tournament contributed unique elements to cricket's rich competitive tapestry while maintaining threads connecting all editions through shared commitment to sporting excellence and competitive integrity. Australia's 6 championships established them definitively as limited overs cricket's greatest team, with sustained excellence across multiple generations demonstrating organizational strength, player development quality, and winning culture that separated them from all competitors. Their achievements in claiming 3 consecutive titles from 1999 through 2007 represented unprecedented dominance that established benchmarks future teams will find extraordinarily difficult to match despite quality cricket played worldwide by improving nations. India's 3 championships in 1983, 2011, and strong performances throughout demonstrated subcontinental cricket's competitive strength and commercial importance. The subcontinent's enormous television audiences and passionate cricket culture transformed the sport's economic structures, making cricket heavily dependent on Indian commercial success while providing resources that funded development worldwide and elevated prize money to substantial levels that rewarded successful teams appropriately. The West Indies' early dominance, winning the first 2 tournaments, established limited overs cricket's credibility and demonstrated the format could showcase exceptional talent. Pakistan's 1992 triumph, completed through Imran Khan's inspirational leadership, Sri Lanka's revolutionary 1996 victory that changed limited overs batting approaches permanently, and England's long-awaited 2019 success each contributed essential narratives demonstrating that different nations could achieve championship success through varied approaches and tactical innovations. Format innovations including colored clothing, white balls, day-night matches, power play restrictions, and decision review system integration transformed cricket's presentation and playing tactics. The evolution from 60-over to 50-over matches established optimal length, balancing adequate cricket against reasonable match duration. Format experiments with Super 6, Super 8, and various group structures sought optimal tournament designs, balancing comprehensiveness against reasonable length that maintained spectator engagement without excessive duration generating fatigue. Individual brilliance from legendary players illuminated every tournament, with centuries, spectacular bowling figures, and match-winning contributions creating moments defining tournaments and inspiring generations. Sachin Tendulkar's 673 runs in 2003 and Virat Kohli's 765 in 2023 represented batting excellence, while Glenn McGrath's 26 wickets in 2007 and Mitchell Starc's 27 in 2019 demonstrated bowling mastery across varied conditions. The World Cup's cultural significance extends beyond sporting achievement into broader contexts where cricket serves as unifying force, bringing together diverse nations in competitive celebration of shared passion. Matches between traditional rivals attracted enormous audiences, demonstrating cricket's capacity to generate compelling narratives transcending typical athletic competition. The tournament provided platforms where emerging nations could challenge established powers, inspiring cricket development in non-traditional regions worldwide. Commercial success grew exponentially across the tournament's 50-year history, with prize money increasing from thousands of pounds in 1975 to millions of dollars by 2023. Broadcasting rights generated substantial revenues, with tournaments attracting enormous global audiences through traditional television and increasingly through digital platforms. The commercial growth helped fund cricket's development worldwide while demonstrating the sport's capacity to attract significant commercial investment. Technological integration enhanced competitive fairness and fan engagement, with decision review system improving officiating accuracy, while ball tracking, Hawkeye, and various innovations provided spectators with enhanced understanding of match situations. Digital platforms transformed fan engagement, making World Cup cricket accessible to global audiences through multiple channels and creating interactive experiences that traditional broadcasting could not provide. The tournament's expansion from 8 teams to 16 before settling at 10 or 14 teams for optimal competitive balance demonstrated ongoing efforts to find structures serving cricket's diverse stakeholders. The balance between inclusivity for emerging nations and competitive quality from established powers required constant evaluation, with tournament planners seeking formats that rewarded excellence while providing opportunities for cricket development beyond traditional strongholds. As cricket continues evolving and future World Cups add new chapters to this ongoing narrative, the foundation established across 50 years ensures that the tournament will remain cricket's premier limited overs competition where championships are won, legends are made, and cricket's evolution is showcased for global audiences celebrating the sport's enduring appeal across generations. The completion of this comprehensive narrative history documenting the Cricket World Cup from 1975 through 2023 represents extensive exploration of cricket's premier limited overs tournament across 50 years of extraordinary evolution. The journey from experimental inaugural competition featuring 8 teams to modern global sporting phenomenon attracting billions in broadcasting revenues and enormous audiences measured in hundreds of millions demonstrates cricket's capacity to adapt successfully while preserving essential character that makes the sport compelling across generations and cultures worldwide. The narrative documented format innovations, tactical revolutions, technological integrations, and commercial growth that transformed the World Cup from novel experiment generating modest revenues to sophisticated global competition. Each tournament contributed unique narratives from dramatic finals to shocking upsets, from individual brilliance to collective team excellence that enriched cricket's competitive tapestry. The documentation across 55 segments captured both broad tournament evolution and specific details that made each World Cup unique and memorable. Australia's 6 championships and unprecedented 3 consecutive titles from 1999 through 2007 established them as limited overs cricket's greatest team, with achievements providing benchmarks future generations will aspire toward matching. Their dominance across multiple eras demonstrated that sustained excellence required organizational strength, player development quality, and winning culture that separated champions from talented teams unable to convert potential into championships. India's 3 titles in 1983, 2011, and 2023 would have made 4 had they converted their 2003 final appearance, demonstrated subcontinental cricket strength while establishing India as limited overs cricket's second most successful nation. Their commercial dominance reshaped cricket's economic structures, with enormous television audiences and passionate fan base making the sport heavily dependent on Indian success while providing resources funding worldwide development. The diverse champions including the West Indies, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and England validated tournament structures rewarding sustained excellence while allowing unexpected triumphs that enriched cricket's narratives and inspired emerging nations. Each championship represented unique journey with distinctive tactical approaches, from the West Indies' Caribbean flair to Sri Lanka's power play revolution to England's aggressive batting philosophy that finally delivered long-awaited success. Individual performances from cricket's greatest players established lasting legacies, with Clive Lloyd's pioneering century in the first final, Viv Richards' dominance, Kapil Dev's heroic 175, Ricky Ponting's commanding 140, Adam Gilchrist's spectacular 149, and countless other contributions creating moments defining tournaments. Batting records from Tendulkar's 673 runs to Kohli's 765 demonstrated sustained excellence, while bowling achievements from McGrath's 26 wickets to Stark's 27 showcased bowling mastery. The World Cup's cultural significance extends far beyond sport into contexts where cricket serves as unifying force, source of national pride, and platform for individual achievement transcending typical athletic competition. Matches between traditional rivals generated enormous audiences, demonstrating cricket's unique position in cultures where the sport carries significance extending beyond typical athletic contests. The tournament provided stages where personal excellence could shine and teams could achieve collective glory. The 50-year history provides foundation ensuring continued evolution serving cricket's best interests while maintaining traditions connecting modern competition to rich heritage established across generations. The lessons learned from format experiments, commercial developments, technological integrations, and competitive evolutions will guide future tournament planning. The challenges of balancing commercial considerations against competitive integrity, managing format structures serving multiple stakeholders, and maintaining cricket's essential character while embracing necessary change will continue shaping World Cup evolution. This comprehensive documentation serves multiple purposes: preserving cricket's World Cup heritage for future generations who can learn from past achievements and failures, providing detailed records of tournaments that shaped the sport's evolution and established benchmarks for excellence, and offering insights into successful navigation of 50 years of dramatic change that transformed cricket from traditional sport to global entertainment phenomenon while preserving what makes cricket special. As cricket continues its journey and future World Cups add new chapters to this ongoing narrative, the rich history documented across these 55 segments ensures that the tournament's remarkable heritage will be preserved and celebrated. The World Cup remains cricket's premier limited overs competition where championships are won, legends are made, and cricket's ongoing evolution is showcased for global audiences who continue celebrating the sport's enduring appeal. The 50-year journey demonstrates that great tournaments successfully balance sporting excellence with compelling narratives, preserve tradition while embracing necessary innovation, and serve diverse stakeholders while maintaining competitive integrity that ensures worthy champions emerge through sustained quality performances across demanding competitions that test excellence under pressure when ultimate prizes are contested. The 8th Cricket World Cup arrived in 2003 with the tournament returning to Africa for the first time, co-hosted by South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Kenya. The decision to stage the competition across 3 African nations represented cricket's commitment to expanding the World Cup's geographic reach and providing opportunities for African cricket development. The tournament would feature the largest field yet, with 14 teams competing in what would be cricket's most expansive World Cup to date, generating 54 matches that tested organizational capabilities and showcased the sport's global diversity. The format divided the 14 teams into 2 groups of 7, with each team playing the others in their group in round-robin matches. The top 3 teams from each group would advance to a Super 6 stage, carrying forward points from matches against fellow qualifiers from their initial groups. The Super 6 format, despite its complexity in 1999, was retained with modifications aimed at improving clarity. The top 4 teams from the Super 6 would advance to semi-finals, with winners contesting the final. The structure ensured extensive competition while maintaining knockout drama. Australia arrived as defending champions and overwhelming favourites, having won in 1999 and maintained their dominance of limited overs cricket in the intervening years. Their team featured established stars and emerging talents, creating a blend of experience and youth that made them formidable opponents. Australia's excellence across all departments, combined with tactical intelligence and mental strength, suggested they would be extremely difficult to defeat. Their campaign would seek to establish unprecedented World Cup dominance through consecutive championships. The tournament faced significant controversy before matches even began, with political tensions surrounding Zimbabwe's hosting role. Several teams expressed concerns about traveling to Zimbabwe given the country's political situation and human rights record. England ultimately forfeited their match in Zimbabwe, citing security concerns, a decision that generated enormous debate about the intersection of sport and politics. New Zealand also forfeited their match in Kenya, citing security fears, though these decisions proved controversial and cost both teams crucial points. The Flower brothers, Andy and Grant, wore black armbands during Zimbabwe's matches to protest their country's regime, a powerful statement that highlighted athletes using major sporting events to draw attention to political issues. Their protest demonstrated courage and conscience, though it also illustrated the complex situations cricketers faced when their sport intersected with politics. The armbands became symbolic of the tournament's political dimensions, reminding spectators that World Cups occurred within broader social and political contexts. Kenya's participation as co-hosts and their subsequent performances would provide one of the tournament's most compelling narratives. As an associate member hosting World Cup matches, Kenya had opportunities to compete in front of home crowds and test themselves against cricket's established powers. Their performances would exceed expectations dramatically, producing results that challenged assumptions about the gap between test-playing nations and emerging cricket countries. Kenya's success validated the tournament's inclusive approach and demonstrated that associate members could compete effectively. India arrived with a talented squad featuring exceptional batsmen capable of posting enormous totals and chasing substantial targets. Sachin Tendulkar remained one of cricket's premier players, while emerging talents like Virender Sehwag brought aggressive approaches that could demoralize bowling attacks. India's batting depth made them dangerous opponents, though questions about their bowling consistency and ability to defend totals remained. Their tournament would demonstrate that batting excellence could compensate for bowling limitations when executed with sufficient quality. The tournament introduced various innovations while maintaining elements that had become standard for World Cup cricket. Colored clothing, white balls, and day-night matches under floodlights continued, with these features now fully accepted as defining characteristics of limited overs international cricket. The aesthetic of World Cup cricket was firmly established, with presentation focusing on enhancing rather than fundamentally changing the visual experience. The prize money had increased substantially to approximately $2 million for the winners, reflecting cricket's continued economic growth and the World Cup's enhanced commercial value. Broadcasting rights had become increasingly valuable, with tournaments attracting enormous global audiences and generating significant revenue. The commercial success helped fund cricket's development worldwide, supporting infrastructure improvements and grassroots programs that expanded the sport's reach. South Africa approached the tournament as co-hosts with the burden of their semi-final curse, having never progressed beyond that stage in previous World Cups. Their talented squad possessed the quality to challenge for the title, though psychological pressure from past disappointments added complexity to their campaign. South Africa's performances would test whether they could overcome historical patterns and convert talent into championship success on home soil. As the tournament commenced, cricket fans anticipated a competition that would showcase the sport's diversity across 54 matches spanning multiple nations. Australia were heavy favorites, but tournament cricket's unpredictable nature meant that exceptional performances could produce unexpected results. Kenya's co-hosting role added intrigue, with possibilities that home support might inspire performances beyond their typical capabilities. The political controversies surrounding Zimbabwe and match forfeitures had complicated the tournament even before it began, though the cricket itself would provide compelling narratives that transcended off-field issues. The stage was set for a World Cup that would deliver memorable performances, establish new records, and confirm Australia's status as limited overs cricket's dominant force. The group stage of the 2003 Cricket World Cup unfolded across South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Kenya, with matches that would determine which 6 teams would advance to the Super 6 stage. The 2 groups of 7 teams meant each side played 6 group matches, requiring sustained quality across multiple games to secure one of the 3 qualification spots available from each group. As matches proceeded across African venues, several performances emerged as exceptional achievements that would be remembered as tournament highlights and individual brilliance. Sachin Tendulkar produced batting of extraordinary quality throughout the tournament, accumulating 673 runs that established a record for the most runs scored in a single World Cup edition. This statistical achievement represented sustained excellence across multiple matches, with Tendulkar demonstrating remarkable consistency alongside the ability to dominate bowling attacks. His batting combined classical technique with intelligent shot selection and powerful stroke play, finding boundaries regularly while also accumulating runs through well-placed singles and intelligent running. Tendulkar's 673 runs would stand as the tournament record, a benchmark that highlighted both his individual brilliance and the tournament's high-scoring nature. His performances demonstrated that exceptional batsmen could dominate World Cup cricket through sustained excellence rather than isolated spectacular innings. The record established Tendulkar's status among limited overs cricket's greatest players, confirming what many already believed about his extraordinary talent and consistency. Kenya's performances as co-hosts exceeded all reasonable expectations, with the team producing results that shocked observers and validated their inclusion in the tournament. Their victories included defeating quality opponents through disciplined cricket and home crowd support that inspired performances beyond their typical capabilities. Kenya's success demonstrated that associate members could compete effectively with test-playing nations when conditions favored them and they executed skills effectively. Their performances would culminate in reaching the semi-finals, the best finish ever achieved by an associate member. The political controversies that had surrounded the tournament manifested in forfeited matches that affected standings and progression. England's decision not to travel to Zimbabwe and New Zealand's refusal to play in Kenya meant both teams forfeited matches, awarding points to opponents without cricket being played. These forfeitures influenced qualification scenarios and generated debate about whether security concerns justified the decisions or whether they represented overreactions that compromised competitive integrity. The situation highlighted complex intersections between sport and politics. Rain rule confusion re-emerged as a significant issue during the group stage, with South Africa experiencing elimination circumstances that recalled previous rain-affected disasters. The Duckworth-Lewis method, introduced to improve rain-affected target calculations after the 1992 debacle, still produced confusion and controversy when applied in certain situations. South Africa's early elimination involved rain-affected calculations that many observers struggled to understand, generating criticism about whether the system required further refinement. Australia's group stage performances confirmed their status as tournament favourites, with the team winning all their matches and demonstrating excellence across all departments. Their batting posted substantial totals, their bowling restricted opponents effectively, and their fielding maintained exceptional standards that saved runs and created opportunities. Australia's dominance suggested they would be extremely difficult to defeat, with quality and depth throughout their squad making them formidable opponents regardless of match conditions or opposition strengths. India's batting performances showcased their capacity to post enormous totals and chase substantial targets through aggressive cricket. Their top-order batsmen, led by Tendulkar and supported by Sehwag and others, attacked bowling from the outset and accumulated runs rapidly. India's approach demonstrated that batting excellence could compensate for bowling limitations when executed with sufficient quality and consistency. Their performances established them as dangerous opponents capable of defeating any team through superior batting. The tournament witnessed several high-scoring matches where teams posted totals exceeding 300 runs, reflecting continued evolution toward more aggressive batting and higher scoring in limited overs cricket. Batsmen worldwide had embraced attacking approaches, recognizing that rapid scoring during power plays and consistent boundary hitting throughout innings produced superior results to conservative accumulation. The higher scoring created exciting matches but also tested bowling quality and strategic approaches. The group stage featured matches across diverse venues throughout South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Kenya, with conditions ranging from pace-friendly pitches to surfaces that assisted spin bowling. Teams needed adaptability to succeed across different environments, testing squad depth and tactical flexibility. The variety of playing conditions added complexity to the competition, rewarding teams that could adjust their approaches based on specific circumstances rather than relying on single strategies. As the group stage concluded, the 6 Super 6 qualifiers emerged from the round-robin results. Australia, India, Kenya, Sri Lanka, New Zealand, and Zimbabwe had earned progression through consistent performances across their group matches. These 6 teams represented diverse cricket nations and playing styles, from Australia's all-round excellence to Kenya's home-inspired performances to India's batting dominance. The Super 6 stage would further test these qualifiers, with matches determining which 4 teams would reach the semi-finals and compete for spots in the final. The Super 6 stage of the 2003 Cricket World Cup brought together the 6 qualifiers from the group stage in a round-robin competition where teams carried forward points from matches against fellow qualifiers from their initial groups. This structure, similar to 1999 but with refinements aimed at improving clarity, meant that performances in the group stage retained significance into the Super 6. The top 4 teams from this round would advance to semi-finals, with matches determining which nations would compete for spots in the final. Australia continued their dominant performances through the Super 6 stage, winning matches with cricket that confirmed their status as the tournament's strongest team by considerable margin. Their unbeaten run through group stage and Super 6 demonstrated sustained excellence that few teams in cricket history had matched. Australia's combination of batting depth, bowling variety, and exceptional fielding created a complete team that possessed advantages in all match phases. Their progression to the semi-finals appeared inevitable given their superiority over all opponents. Kenya's remarkable tournament continued through the Super 6, with their performances justifying progression to the semi-finals despite their status as associate members. Their success represented one of the great World Cup stories, demonstrating that home advantage and inspired performances could elevate teams beyond their typical competitive level. Kenya's semi-final qualification was the best finish ever achieved by an associate member in World Cup history, validating the tournament's inclusive approach and providing inspiration for cricket development in non-traditional nations. India also progressed through the Super 6 stage, their batting excellence compensating for bowling limitations and establishing them as genuine title contenders. Their ability to post substantial totals and chase large targets through aggressive batting made them dangerous opponents, though questions remained about whether their bowling could defend totals or restrict quality batting lineups sufficiently. India's semi-final qualification meant they would face Kenya, creating a match that most observers expected India to win comfortably. The semi-finals featured Australia against Sri Lanka and India against Kenya, pairings that reflected the Super 6 standings and suggested likely outcomes based on tournament form. Australia, as the dominant team, faced Sri Lanka with expectation that they would reach the final comfortably. India's match against Kenya was predicted to produce an Indian victory, given the vast gap in cricket infrastructure and international experience between the nations. However, both semi-finals would need to be played, and tournament cricket occasionally produced unexpected results. Australia's semi-final victory over Sri Lanka proceeded as expected, with their superior quality across all departments proving decisive. The Australian team had performed with such consistency throughout the tournament that their progression to the final generated little surprise. Their cricket had been exceptional across batting, bowling, and fielding, creating a complete performance level that established them as overwhelming favorites to claim the championship. Australia's semi-final victory sent them to the final with momentum and confidence. India's semi-final against Kenya produced the expected result, with India's batting quality and experience proving too substantial for Kenya to overcome. While Kenya had performed admirably throughout the tournament, reaching the semi-finals represented achievement beyond their typical competitive level. India's victory was comprehensive, demonstrating the gap that still existed between established test-playing nations and associate members when both teams performed near their capabilities. India's progression to the final meant they would face Australia in what promised to be a compelling championship match. Kenya's semi-final appearance represented their tournament's culmination, having exceeded all expectations by reaching the Final Four. Their performances had provided compelling evidence that associate members could compete in World Cup cricket when conditions favored them and they executed skills effectively. While their semi-final defeat was comprehensive, Kenya's tournament success validated their co-hosting role and demonstrated cricket's potential for growth beyond traditional strongholds. Their achievement would inspire cricket development efforts across Africa and other emerging cricket regions. The semi-final results established that Australia would face India in the final at Johannesburg, a pairing that promised compelling cricket between the tournament's dominant team and a side with batting capable of posting or chasing any total. Australia arrived at the final unbeaten throughout the tournament, having won every match with performances that suggested they were operating at a different competitive level than all opponents. India's path to the final had featured exceptional batting performances, though their bowling remained the potential vulnerability that Australia might exploit. The Super 6 format had functioned more smoothly than in 1999, with improved clarity about standings and progression scenarios reducing spectator confusion. The structure had ensured that leading teams faced each other multiple times, testing consistency and sustained quality rather than rewarding teams that peaked only for knockout matches. Australia's dominance had been so complete that format nuances had limited impact on their progression, with their superiority evident regardless of tournament structure. As teams prepared for the semi-finals and final, cricket recognized that Australia's unbeaten tournament represented exceptional achievement that placed them among the great World Cup teams. Their combination of talent, tactical intelligence, and mental strength had produced cricket of the highest quality across all tournament phases. India's progression to the final provided hope that their batting excellence might challenge Australia's dominance, though most observers expected the final to confirm Australian superiority and deliver them their third World Cup title. The final of the 2003 Cricket World Cup took place at Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg on March 23, bringing together Australia and India in a match that would determine whether Australia could claim their third World Cup title or whether India's batting excellence could produce an upset victory. Australia arrived at the final unbeaten throughout the tournament, having won all 11 matches with performances that established them as one of the greatest World Cup teams in history. India brought batting quality that had carried them to the final, though their bowling remained a potential vulnerability that Australia might exploit. Australia won the toss and elected to bat first, a decision that reflected confidence in their batting lineup's ability to post a substantial total that would pressure India. The Australian innings proceeded with the controlled aggression that had characterized their tournament, with batsmen contributing throughout the order and building partnerships that established a commanding total. Ricky Ponting produced an innings of exceptional quality, demonstrating why he was considered among the world's premier batsmen through stroke play that combined power with precision. Ponting's unbeaten 140 runs represented batting of the highest caliber. His innings featured 121 deliveries and included 8 sixes, demonstrating his capacity to dominate through powerful hitting combined with intelligent shot selection. The knock showcased Ponting's ability to perform at his peak when stakes were highest. His unbeaten status meant he batted throughout Australia's acceleration phases, maximizing the final total. Ponting's 140 not out broke the record for highest individual score in a World Cup final, surpassing Viv Richards' 138 not out from 1979. This statistical milestone added to the innings' significance, establishing Ponting's performance as a benchmark for excellence in championship matches. The record would stand as testament to batting mastery under pressure, with Ponting's ability to dominate India's bowling attack determining the match's outcome before India began their chase. Australia concluded their 50 overs having scored 359 runs for 2 wickets, a total that represented one of the highest scores in World Cup history and created an almost insurmountable challenge for India. The enormous total reflected both Australia's batting excellence and India's bowling struggles, with the combination producing a score that gave Australia overwhelming advantage. India would need to bat with unprecedented aggression and quality to successfully chase such a substantial target in a World Cup final. India's chase faced immediate challenges, with Australia's bowling attack creating pressure through accurate deliveries and regular breakthroughs. The required run rate climbed rapidly as wickets fell, with India unable to build the partnerships needed to maintain realistic hopes of reaching the target. While individual Indian batsmen played some attractive shots, Australia's superior bowling quality and the pressure of chasing such an enormous total proved decisive. India's batting, which had been their strength throughout the tournament, could not overcome the deficit Australia had established. Australia's bowling attack, led by Glenn McGrath and other quality seamers and spinners, maintained pressure throughout India's innings. Their ability to take wickets regularly prevented India from establishing momentum or building partnerships that might have created tension. The bowling performance demonstrated Australia's completeness as a team, with their attack proving as dominant as their batting had been in establishing the substantial total. India were eventually dismissed for 234 runs, falling 125 runs short of Australia's total. The margin of victory reflected Australia's comprehensive superiority throughout the match, demonstrating that they had been the better team across all departments. Their batting had posted an enormous total through Ponting's brilliance and supporting contributions. Their bowling had restricted India effectively, and their fielding had maintained the high standards that characterized their tournament performances. The victory gave Australia their 3rd Cricket World Cup title, confirming their status as limited overs cricket's dominant force. The triumph completed an unbeaten tournament where they had won all 11 matches, an achievement that placed them among the greatest teams in World Cup history. Australia's excellence across the 2003 tournament established benchmarks for sustained quality and demonstrated what complete dominance looked like in major tournament cricket. Ricky Ponting's man-of-the-match performance in the final, combined with his leadership throughout the tournament, established him as one of cricket's premier players in his generation. His ability to deliver exceptional performances when stakes were highest demonstrated the mental strength and skill that separated champions from talented players who could not perform under pressure. Ponting's final innings would be remembered as one of the great World Cup batting displays. For India, the heavy defeat represented a disappointing conclusion to a tournament where their batting had suggested they could challenge for the title. Their inability to restrict Australia to a chaseable total or mount a serious challenge during their innings meant the final never developed into the contest their progression had suggested was possible. India could reflect on reaching the final as achievement, though the manner of defeat made the outcome particularly difficult to accept. As Australia celebrated their 3rd World Cup title and Ricky Ponting lifted the trophy at Wanderers Stadium, cricket recognized that an exceptional team had achieved historic success through sustained excellence. Their unbeaten tournament, dominant performances, and comprehensive final victory established them as one of cricket's greatest teams across any format. The 2003 World Cup had confirmed Australia's status as the benchmark that other nations needed to match if they hoped to challenge for future championships. The 2003 Cricket World Cup's legacy centered on Australia's historic achievement of winning their third World Cup title through an unbeaten tournament that established them as one of the greatest teams in cricket history. Their 11 consecutive victories represented sustained excellence across diverse conditions and opponents, demonstrating completeness that few teams had matched. The tournament also showcased individual brilliance through Tendulkar's record runs, Kenya's unprecedented semi-final appearance, and controversies that highlighted sport's intersection with politics. The competition confirmed trends toward higher scoring and batting dominance while raising questions about competitive balance between cricket's leading nations and emerging countries. Australia's unbeaten championship run established a benchmark for World Cup dominance that would be studied and analysed for decades. Their excellence across all departments, batting, bowling, and fielding, combined with tactical intelligence and mental strength, created a team that operated at a different competitive level than all opponents. Australia's ability to win every match, often by substantial margins, demonstrated that great teams could maintain peak performance across extended tournaments when talent and preparation aligned properly. Ricky Ponting's 140 not out in the final represented the highest individual score in a World Cup final, breaking Viv Richards' record from 1979. The innings exemplified batting excellence under pressure, with Ponting's ability to dominate India's bowling attack determining the championship match before India began their chase. His performance established him among limited overs cricket's premier players and demonstrated the impact that exceptional individual performances could have on determining tournament outcomes. Sachin Tendulkar's 673 runs established a record for most runs in a single World Cup edition that would stand as testament to sustained batting excellence across multiple matches. The achievement demonstrated Tendulkar's consistency and quality, combining technical brilliance with the ability to perform repeatedly when his team needed contributions. The record highlighted that exceptional batsmen could dominate World Cup cricket through accumulated excellence rather than isolated spectacular innings. Kenya's semi-final appearance represented the best finish ever achieved by an associate member in World Cup history, validating the tournament's inclusive approach and demonstrating cricket's potential for growth beyond traditional strongholds. Their success as co-hosts showed that home advantage and inspired performances could elevate teams beyond typical competitive levels. Kenya's achievement inspired cricket development efforts across Africa and provided evidence that associate members could compete effectively when conditions and circumstances favored them. The political controversies surrounding Zimbabwe's hosting role and match forfeitures highlighted complex intersections between sport and politics that World Cups could not avoid. England's refusal to play in Zimbabwe and New Zealand's forfeiture in Kenya generated debate about whether security concerns justified decisions that compromised competitive integrity. The Flower Brothers' black armbands protesting Zimbabwe's regime demonstrated athletes using sporting platforms to draw attention to political issues, though these situations illustrated the difficult positions cricketers faced when sport and politics intersected. The tournament's expansion to 14 teams and 54 matches represented cricket's most ambitious World Cup to date, testing organizational capabilities across 3 host nations. The extensive competition showcased cricket's global reach while also exposing quality gaps between established test-playing nations and emerging countries. Most matches between top teams and associate members produced predictable outcomes, raising questions about optimal tournament size and whether inclusivity justified matches where competitive imbalance was substantial. The continued evolution toward higher scoring and batting dominance was evident throughout the tournament, with teams regularly posting totals exceeding 300 runs. Australia's 359 in the final represented one of the highest World Cup scores and demonstrated how batting approaches had evolved towards sustained aggression throughout innings. The higher scoring created exciting matches but raised questions about whether bowling quality was declining or whether batting techniques and equipment improvements had shifted the balance too far toward batsmen. The prize money had increased to approximately $2 million for winners, reflecting cricket's continued economic growth and the World Cup's enhanced commercial value. Broadcasting rights generated substantial revenue, with the tournament attracting enormous global audiences. The commercial success helped fund cricket's development worldwide, though debates continued about how revenues were distributed and whether emerging cricket nations received adequate support for development programs. The tournament confirmed Australia's status as limited overs cricket's dominant force, establishing them as the team to beat for future World Cups. Their third title in 3 attempts at winning consecutive championships demonstrated sustained excellence that separated them from all competitors. Other nations would study Australia's methods and attempt to replicate their approach, though matching their combination of talent, preparation, and execution proved difficult for most teams. The 2003 World Cup demonstrated that tournament cricket rewarded sustained excellence across multiple matches rather than teams that peaked only for knockout games. Australia's unbeaten run proved that great teams could maintain peak performance throughout extended competitions. The tournament also showed that individual brilliance, exemplified by Tendulkar's runs and Ponting's final innings, could determine outcomes and create lasting legacies. As Australia celebrated their third championship, cricket recognized that an exceptional team had achieved historic success that established benchmarks for future generations to aspire toward matching. The 9th Cricket World Cup arrived in 2007 with the tournament staged in the West Indies, marking the first time the Caribbean had hosted the competition since the 1975 and 1979 tournaments in England. The decision to bring the World Cup to the Caribbean represented recognition of West Indian cricket's rich heritage and the region's capacity to stage major international sporting events across multiple island nations. The tournament would feature 16 teams competing in what would be cricket's largest World Cup field yet, generating 51 matches that tested organizational capabilities across 8 Caribbean nations. The format divided the 16 teams into 4 groups of 4, with each team playing the others in their group in round-robin matches. The top 2 teams from each group would advance to a Super 8 stage, where the 8 qualifiers would play each other in another round-robin competition. The top 4 teams from the Super 8 would then advance to semi-finals, with winners contesting the final. This complex structure meant extensive cricket across multiple tournament phases, with teams needing sustained quality across numerous matches to reach the championship match. Australia arrived as defending champions and overwhelming favourites, seeking to claim their 4th World Cup title and 3rd consecutive championship. Their dominance of limited overs cricket had continued since 2003, with the team maintaining excellence across all departments. Australia's combination of talent, experience, and winning mentality made them formidable opponents, though age was beginning to catch up with some of their star players. The tournament would test whether Australia could maintain their supremacy or whether new challengers would emerge. The tournament faced tragedy with Pakistan coach Bob Woolmere found dead in his hotel room following his team's shock defeat to Ireland. The incident generated enormous speculation and investigation. The tragedy cast a shadow over the tournament, reminding participants that cricket existed within broader contexts where personal tragedies could occur. Later investigations would rule Woolmer's death as natural causes, though the incident remained one of cricket's saddest moments. Ireland and the Netherlands produced results that shocked the cricket world. Ireland's defeat of Pakistan represented one of the great World Cup upsets, demonstrating that associate members could compete with established test-playing nations when performing at their peak. The result had profound implications for tournament progression and generated debate about format changes. India and Pakistan's early exits following defeats to associate members created major commercial concerns. The subcontinent's enormous television audiences represented cricket's largest market, and both teams being eliminated before the Super 8 stage severely impacted revenues. The commercial implications generated debate about tournament formats. The tournament introduced standardized power play blocks that would become permanent features of limited overs cricket. The first 10 overs remained mandatory power play with field restrictions, while 2 5-over power play blocks could be claimed by batting and bowling sides at strategic moments. This innovation added tactical dimensions to limited overs cricket, with captains needing to decide optimal timing for deploying power plays based on match situations. The power play system would continue evolving in subsequent years. Matthew Hayden of Australia emerged as the tournament's leading run scorer, accumulating 659 runs at an average of 73. Hayden's aggressive opening batting set tones for Australian innings and demonstrated his capacity for sustained excellence across multiple matches. His performances showcased the evolution of opening batting toward greater aggression, with Hayden attacking from the first ball and seeking to demoralize bowling attacks through powerful hitting and intelligent shot selection. Glenn McGrath, Australia's legendary pace bowler, claimed 26 wickets at an average of 13.73, the best bowling performance in a single World Cup edition in terms of both wickets taken and average maintained. McGrath's final World Cup represented a masterclass in pace bowling, with his ability to swing the ball, maintain accuracy, and take wickets regularly proving crucial to Australia's campaign. His tournament performances provided a fitting conclusion to one of cricket's greatest bowling careers. Adam Gilchrist, Australia's wicket-keeper batsman, would produce the tournament's most spectacular individual innings in the final, though that achievement lay ahead as the group stage commenced. His aggressive batting approach and safe wicket-keeping made him invaluable to Australia's balance, providing firepower at the top of the order while maintaining high standards behind the stumps. Gilchrist's combination of skills exemplified the modern wicket-keeper batsman who contributed significantly with both bat and gloves. The tournament, staging across 8 Caribbean nations, including Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Antigua, St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Kitts, and Guyana, created logistical challenges but also distributed matches geographically across the region. The island-hopping nature of the tournament meant extensive travel for teams and spectators, though it also allowed cricket fans throughout the Caribbean to experience World Cup cricket firsthand. The multi-nation hosting arrangement required careful coordination and demonstrated cricket's capacity to stage major competitions across diverse locations. As the tournament commenced, cricket fans anticipated a competition that would showcase the sport across the Caribbean's beautiful venues while testing whether Australia could maintain their dominance or whether new champions would emerge. The expanded 16-team field promised diverse cricket, though concerns existed about competitive balance and whether associate members could provide genuine competition for established test-playing nations. The stage was set for a World Cup that would deliver compelling cricket, tragic moments, shocking upsets, and ultimately confirm Australia's status as limited overs cricket's greatest team. The group stage of the 2007 Cricket World Cup produced shocking upsets that would reshape the tournament and generate lasting debate about format structures and competitive balance. The 4 groups of 4 teams meant each side played 3 group matches, with the top 2 from each group advancing to the Super 8 stage. As matches proceeded across Caribbean venues, Ireland and Bangladesh produced results that eliminated India and Pakistan respectively, creating commercial crisis and demonstrating that associate members could defeat established test-playing nations when circumstances aligned. Ireland's victory over Pakistan represented one of the great World Cup upsets, with the associate member defeating a team that had reached previous finals and possessed quality throughout their lineup. Ireland's disciplined cricket, combined with Pakistan's underperformance, produced a result that shocked observers and had profound implications for tournament progression. The victory validated Ireland's cricket development and demonstrated that the gap between established nations and emerging countries could be bridged through quality performances at crucial moments. Bangladesh's defeat of India created even greater commercial shockwaves, given India's enormous television audience and the subcontinent's importance to cricket's economic ecosystem. India's early elimination represented a financial disaster for tournament organizers, with viewing figures and advertising revenues dramatically impacted by their absence from the Super 8 stage. The result demonstrated both Bangladesh's improving cricket quality and India's vulnerability when they performed below their capabilities. The early eliminations of India and Pakistan generated immediate debate about tournament format and whether structures needed modification to prevent major cricket nations being knocked out after just 3 matches. Critics argued that larger tournaments should protect commercial interests by ensuring traditional powers progressed further, while others maintained that competitive integrity required accepting that upsets could eliminate anyone. The debate highlighted tensions between commercial considerations and sporting fairness that would influence future tournament planning. Bob Woolmer's death following Pakistan's defeat to Ireland cast a tragic shadow over the tournament, with the Pakistan coach found dead in his hotel room. Initial speculation about suspicious circumstances generated worldwide attention, though later investigations would rule the death as natural causes. The tragedy reminded cricket that tournaments occurred within broader human contexts where personal disasters could overshadow sporting competition. Woolmer's death remained one of cricket's saddest moments. Australia dominated their group stage matches with performances that confirmed their status as overwhelming favourites. Their batting posted substantial totals, their bowling restricted opponents effectively, and their fielding maintained exceptional standards. Australia's excellence across all departments suggested they would be extremely difficult to defeat, with quality and depth throughout their squad making them formidable opponents. Their group stage performances continued the dominance they had established in previous World Cups. Sri Lanka progressed through the group stage with quality performances that established them as potential challengers to Australia's dominance. Their team possessed talented batsmen, varied bowling attacks, and experienced players who understood tournament cricket's demands. Sri Lanka approached matches with tactical intelligence and the ability to adapt to different conditions, suggesting they could challenge for the title if they maintained standards through the Super 8 stage. South Africa qualified from their group with performances that demonstrated their quality, though their semi-final curse remained a psychological burden. The West Indies, as hosts, progressed with support from home crowds that created challenging atmospheres for visiting teams. England and New Zealand both earned Super 8 places through solid cricket, while Bangladesh and Ireland's qualifications represented achievements beyond their typical competitive levels and validated the tournament's inclusive structure. The Super 8 format meant that teams carrying forward points from group stage matches against fellow qualifiers would play the other Super 8 teams in a comprehensive round-robin competition. This structure ensured extensive cricket between leading teams while maintaining the significance of group stage performances against other qualifiers. The format's complexity continued generating some spectator confusion, though it achieved the goal of maximizing matches between top teams. As the group stage concluded, 8 teams had qualified for the Super 8 stage through their group performances. Australia, Sri Lanka, South Africa, New Zealand, England, West Indies, Bangladesh, and Ireland had earned progression, representing a mix of traditional powers and teams that had produced surprising results. The Super 8 would determine which 4 teams would reach the semi-finals and compete for spots in the final. The tournament's length and complexity, with extensive group stage followed by Super 8 and then knockout matches, tested team stamina and squad depth. The Caribbean's island-hopping nature meant considerable travel between matches, adding physical demands to competitive pressures. Teams needed quality beyond their starting 11s to handle the tournament's duration, with injuries and fatigue potentially influencing results as the competition progressed. The format's extent generated debate about whether shorter, More concentrated tournaments might better serve cricket's interests while maintaining competitive integrity and ensuring worthy champions emerged through sustained quality performances. The Super 8 stage and semi-finals of the 2007 Cricket World Cup narrowed the field from 8 teams to the 2 finalists who would compete for the championship. The Super 8 round-robin competition saw teams playing each other while carrying forward points from group stage matches against fellow qualifiers. The top 4 teams from the Super 8 advanced to semi-finals, with Australia's dominance throughout suggesting they would be extremely difficult to defeat, while Sri Lanka emerged as their most likely challenger. Australia's Super 8 performances confirmed their overwhelming superiority, with the team winning matches comprehensively and demonstrating excellence that placed them far ahead of all competitors. Their batting continued posting substantial totals through contributions throughout their order. Their bowling restricted opponents through varied attacks combining pace and spin, and their fielding maintained the exceptional standards that saved runs and created opportunities. Australia's cricket suggested they were operating at a different competitive level than all opponents. Sri Lanka also performed strongly through the Super 8, their quality cricket earning progression toward the semi-finals with performances that established them as Australia's most credible challengers. Their team combined talented batsmen with varied bowling attacks, creating balance that allowed them to compete effectively across different conditions. Sri Lanka's experience and tactical intelligence suggested they possessed the capability to challenge Australia if they performed at their peak in crucial matches. South Africa and New Zealand also qualified for the semi-finals through consistent Super 8 performances, though both teams understood they would need exceptional cricket to defeat Australia or Sri Lanka. South Africa carried the psychological burden of their semi-final curse, having never progressed beyond that stage in previous World Cups. New Zealand brought quality and experience, though they recognized that reaching the final would require performances beyond their typical competitive level. The semi-finals featured Australia against South Africa and Sri Lanka against New Zealand, pairings that reflected Super 8 standings and established favorites for progression. Australia faced South Africa with overwhelming expectation that they would reach the final, given their tournament dominance and South Africa's historical struggles in knockout matches. Sri Lanka's match against New Zealand appeared more evenly balanced, though Sri Lanka's superior tournament form suggested they would likely progress. Australia's semi-final victory over South Africa proceeded as expected, with their superior quality proving decisive. The Australian team had performed with such consistency throughout the tournament that their progression to the final generated little surprise. South Africa's semi-final curse continued, with another elimination at that stage adding to their painful World Cup history. Australia's victory sent them to the final, seeking their 3rd consecutive World Cup title. Sri Lanka's semi-final against New Zealand produced the expected result, with Sri Lanka's quality and experience proving too substantial for New Zealand to overcome. Sri Lanka's progression to the final meant they would face Australia in what promised to be a compelling championship match between the tournament's 2 strongest teams. Their journey to the final had been earned through consistent performances across group stage, Super 8, and semi-final, demonstrating the sustained quality needed for World Cup success. The semi-final results established that Australia would face Sri Lanka in the final at Bridgetown, Barbados, a pairing that promised compelling cricket between the dominant teams seeking a historic 3rd consecutive title and quality challengers hoping to claim their 2nd championship. Australia arrived at the final as overwhelming favorites, having won every match with performances suggesting they would be extremely difficult to defeat. Sri Lanka brought quality that had carried them to the final, though most observers expected Australia's superiority to prove decisive. The Super 8 format had functioned effectively in sorting teams by sustained performance across extensive competition, with the 4 semi-finalists representing the tournament's strongest sides. Australia's dominance had been so complete that format nuances had limited impact on their progression, with their superiority evident regardless of tournament structure. The lengthy tournament had tested teams' depth and stamina, with Australia's squad quality allowing them to maintain peak performance across the extended competition. As teams prepared for the final, cricket recognized that Australia's unbeaten tournament represented another chapter in their unprecedented World Cup dominance. Their combination of talent, experience, and winning mentality had produced cricket of the highest quality across all tournament phases. Sri Lanka's progression to the final provided hope that their quality might challenge Australia's supremacy, though the scale of Australia's tournament dominance suggested the final would confirm their status as limited overs cricket's greatest team. Matthew Hayden's 659 runs as tournament leading scorer had established him among the competition's batting stars, with his aggressive opening approach setting tones for Australian innings throughout the tournament. Glenn McGrath's 26 wickets at average of 13.73 represented the best bowling performance in World Cup history, providing a fitting conclusion to his legendary career. These individual performances alongside team excellence demonstrated Australia's completeness across all departments and their capacity to dominate through both collective quality and individual brilliance from established stars and supporting players throughout their deep, talented squad. The final of the 2007 Cricket World Cup took place at Kensington Oval in Bridgetown, Barbados on April 28, bringing together Australia and Sri Lanka in a match that would determine whether Australia could claim their fourth World Cup title and unprecedented third consecutive championship. Australia arrived at the final unbeaten throughout the tournament, having won all their matches with performances that established them as one of the greatest World Cup teams in history. Sri Lanka brought quality that had carried them to the final, though they faced the enormous challenge of defeating a team operating at peak efficiency. Australia won the toss and elected to bat first, a decision reflecting confidence in their batting lineup's ability to post a substantial total. The Australian innings began with Adam Gilchrist producing one of the most spectacular batting performances in World Cup final history. His innings of 149 runs represented the highest score by a wicket-keeper batsman in any World Cup match, breaking records while demonstrating batting excellence of the highest caliber under the pressure of a championship final. Gilchrist's 149 featured powerful hitting combined with intelligent shot selection, with his aggressive approach putting Sri Lankan bowlers under immediate pressure from which they never recovered. His innings included boundaries struck to all parts of the ground, demonstrating his capacity to dominate bowling attacks through a complete range of shots. The knock showcased Gilchrist's ability to perform at his absolute peak when stakes were highest, providing Australia with a platform that effectively decided the final before Sri Lanka began their chase. Australia's innings, built on Gilchrist's magnificent century and supported by contributions from other batsmen, established a commanding total that presented Sri Lanka with an enormous challenge. Rain interruptions during Australia's innings meant that Duckworth-Lewis calculations would apply to determine Sri Lanka's target, adding complexity to what was already a difficult chase. The revised target, accounting for overs lost to rain, still required Sri Lanka to bat with exceptional quality to have realistic hopes of victory. Sri Lanka's chase faced immediate challenges from Australia's bowling attack, which created pressure through accurate deliveries and regular breakthroughs. The required run rate climbed as wickets fell, with Sri Lanka unable to build the partnerships needed to maintain realistic hopes of reaching the target. Australia's bowling excellence, combined with the pressure of chasing a substantial total in a World Cup final, proved decisive in restricting Sri Lanka's batting performances. The match was affected by rain and poor light, with Duckworth-Lewis calculations determining the final result. Australia won by 53 runs on the Duckworth-Lewis method, a margin that reflected their comprehensive superiority throughout the match. While the rain-affected nature of the final meant it concluded differently than a full 50-over chase might have, Australia's dominance suggested the outcome would have been similar regardless of weather interruptions. The victory gave Australia their fourth Cricket World Cup title and third consecutive championship, an unprecedented achievement that confirmed their status as limited overs cricket's greatest team. Their dominance across three consecutive World Cups represented sustained excellence that no other nation had matched, establishing benchmarks for tournament success that would be studied for generations. Australia's combination of talent, preparation, tactical intelligence, and mental strength had produced historic achievement. Adam Gilchrist's man-of-the-match performance in the final provided a fitting conclusion to his World Cup career, with his 149 representing one of the great championship match innings. His ability to deliver exceptional performances when stakes were highest demonstrated the qualities that separated great players from merely talented ones. Gilchrist's final innings would be remembered alongside cricket's greatest World Cup batting displays. For Sri Lanka, the defeat represented a disappointing conclusion to a tournament where their quality had suggested they could challenge for the title. Their inability to match Australia's intensity and execution meant the final never developed into the competitive contest their progression had suggested was possible. Sri Lanka could reflect on reaching the final as achievement, though the manner of defeat made the outcome particularly difficult to accept given the one-sided nature of the match. Glenn McGrath's 26 wickets at average of 13.73 across the tournament represented the best bowling performance in World Cup history, providing a magnificent conclusion to one of cricket's greatest bowling careers. His final tournament demonstrated sustained excellence that had characterized his entire career, with ability to take wickets regularly while maintaining economy making him invaluable to Australia's success across multiple World Cups. As Australia celebrated their fourth World Cup title and third consecutive championship, cricket recognized that an exceptional team had achieved historic success through sustained excellence across an extended period. Their dominance of three consecutive World Cups established them as the greatest limited overs team in cricket history, with their achievements providing benchmarks that future teams would aspire toward matching but would find extremely difficult to replicate given the combination of talent, preparation, and execution required for such sustained success. Matthew Hayden's tournament-leading 659 runs demonstrated sustained batting excellence that complemented Australia's overall dominance, with his aggressive opening approach throughout the competition setting tones that allowed middle-order batsmen to build on solid foundations or accelerate further when circumstances permitted attacking cricket. The 2007 Cricket World Cup's legacy centered on Australia's unprecedented achievement of winning their third consecutive World Cup title, establishing them definitively as limited overs cricket's greatest team. Their 4 total championships and 3-peat represented sustained excellence that no other nation had matched, creating benchmarks for tournament success that would inspire and challenge future generations. The tournament also generated significant debate about format structures following India and Pakistan's early eliminations, highlighting tensions between competitive integrity and commercial considerations that would influence future World Cup planning. Australia's 3 consecutive championships represented historic achievement that placed them among sport's great dynasties across any discipline. Their ability to maintain peak performance across multiple tournaments, adapting to personnel changes while preserving winning culture, demonstrated exceptional organizational strength and player development. Australia's dominance established that great teams could sustain excellence across extended periods when talent pipelines, coaching quality, and winning mentality aligned properly. Adam Gilchrist's 149 in the final represented the highest score by a wicket-keeper batsman in World Cup history, a record that highlighted his exceptional talent and ability to perform at his absolute peak when stakes were highest. The innings exemplified batting brilliance under pressure, with Gilchrist's aggressive approach effectively deciding the championship match before Sri Lanka began their chase. His performance established him among limited overs cricket's premier players. Glenn McGrath's 26 wickets at average of 13.73 represented the best bowling performance in a single World Cup edition, providing a magnificent conclusion to one of cricket's greatest bowling careers. His sustained excellence across the tournament demonstrated that exceptional bowlers could dominate World Cup cricket through consistency, accuracy, and the ability to take wickets regularly while maintaining economy. McGrath's achievement established benchmarks for bowling excellence that future players would aspire toward. Matthew Hayden's 659 runs as tournament-leading scorer demonstrated sustained batting quality that complemented Australia's overall dominance. His aggressive opening approach throughout the competition set tones for Australian innings and showcased the evolution of opening batting toward greater aggression from the first ball. Hayden's performances established him among the tournament's batting stars and demonstrated his capacity for sustained excellence across multiple matches. The early eliminations of India and Pakistan following defeats to Ireland and Bangladesh generated immediate debate about tournament format and whether structures needed modification to protect commercial interests. Critics argued that major cricket nations being eliminated after just 3 matches created financial disasters for tournaments heavily dependent on subcontinental television revenues. The debate highlighted tensions between sporting integrity that accepted upsets and commercial realities that preferred ensuring traditional powers progressed further. Future World Cups would adopt different formats partly in response to the 2007 experience, with tournament planners seeking structures that balanced competitive integrity against commercial considerations and reduced possibilities of major cricket nations being eliminated very early. The debate demonstrated cricket's ongoing challenge of serving multiple stakeholders, including purists valuing sporting fairness and commercial interests requiring reliable television audiences. Bob Woolmer's death remained the tournament's tragic shadow, reminding cricket that sporting competitions occurred within broader human contexts where personal disasters could overshadow competitive achievements. His passing highlighted the pressures coaches faced and the toll that high-stakes international cricket could exact on those involved. The tragedy prompted discussions about support systems for coaches and players dealing with tournament pressures. Ireland's defeat of Pakistan and Bangladesh's victory over India demonstrated that associate members could compete with established test-playing nations when circumstances aligned and they performed at their peaks. These upsets validated cricket's development efforts beyond traditional strongholds and suggested that competitive gaps were narrowing through improved coaching, infrastructure, and experience for emerging nations. The results encouraged continued investment in cricket development worldwide. The tournament's 16-team field and complex format generated debate about optimal World Cup size and structure. Some argued that smaller tournaments with only top teams produced higher quality cricket and more competitive matches, while others maintained that inclusive tournaments served cricket's global development even if some matches were one-sided. The debate would continue influencing future tournament planning. The 2007 World Cup confirmed Australia's status as limited overs cricket's greatest team through their unprecedented three-peat achievement. Their dominance had been so complete across multiple tournaments that they established benchmarks future teams would find extremely difficult to match. As Australia celebrated their historic third consecutive championship, cricket recognized that an exceptional era of dominance had concluded, with questions emerging about whether any team could replicate such sustained excellence in future World Cups. The prize money had increased substantially to over $2.2 million for winners, reflecting cricket's continued economic growth and the World Cup's commercial value despite the financial impact of India and Pakistan's early eliminations. The tournament demonstrated both cricket's commercial potential and its vulnerability to unexpected results that affected viewing figures and advertising revenues, highlighting the sport's complex relationship between competitive integrity and commercial success. The 10th Cricket World Cup arrived in 2011 with the tournament returning to the Indian subcontinent, co-hosted by India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. The decision to stage the competition across 3 subcontinental nations represented recognition of the region's passion for cricket and its enormous contribution to the sport's commercial success. The tournament would feature 14 teams competing in what would be a more streamlined format than previous editions, with organizers seeking to balance comprehensive competition against excessive length that had generated criticism of earlier tournaments. The format divided the 14 teams into 2 groups of 7, with each team playing the others in their group in round-robin matches. The top 4 teams from each group would advance directly to quarterfinals, eliminating the Super 8 stage that had been used in previous tournaments. This simplified structure meant 8 teams would reach the knockout stage, with quarterfinals narrowing the field to 4 semi-finalists who would compete for spots in the final. The format represented compromise between inclusivity and efficiency. India arrived as co-hosts with enormous expectations from their passionate cricket fans, who anticipated watching their team claim the World Cup on home soil. India possessed exceptional batting talent throughout their lineup, with players capable of posting enormous totals and chasing substantial targets. Their bowling remained somewhat inconsistent, though the presence of quality spinners who could exploit subcontinental conditions provided advantages. India's campaign would be played under intense scrutiny and pressure from expectations. Australia's dynasty had ended with their early exit from the 2007 tournament, though they remained quality opponents capable of challenging for the title. Their team had transitioned from the generation that had dominated 3 consecutive World Cups, with new players establishing themselves alongside remaining veterans. Australia approached the tournament as challengers rather than overwhelming favorites, a significant change from their previous World Cup campaigns. South Africa arrived with their usual combination of quality cricket and psychological burden from previous tournament disappointments. Their team possessed talent across all departments, though their inability to progress beyond semi-finals in previous World Cups created mental challenges that added pressure to their campaign. South Africa's performances would test whether they could finally overcome their knockout stage curse and convert talent into championship success. The tournament reintroduced quarterfinals as the first knockout round, creating high-stakes matches earlier than tournaments that proceeded directly from group stages to semi-finals. This structure meant that 8 teams would experience knockout cricket, with the pressure of single elimination matches testing teams' ability to perform when defeat meant immediate tournament exit. The quarterfinals would provide compelling cricket while sorting the field to 4 semi-finalists. The decision review system was implemented for all matches throughout the tournament, representing cricket's most comprehensive use of technology for umpiring decisions to that point. Teams could challenge umpiring decisions through reviews that employed ball tracking technology, thermal imaging, and other tools to determine correct outcomes. The DRS represented cricket's continued embrace of technology to improve officiating standards and reduce errors that might influence match results. Sachin Tendulkar competed in his 6th and final World Cup, with the legendary Indian batsman seeking to conclude his remarkable career by helping India claim the trophy on home soil. Tendulkar's career had spanned multiple generations, with his excellence across formats establishing him among cricket's greatest players. His final World Cup would be watched with particular interest given his status in Indian cricket and the emotional significance of potentially winning the tournament in his homeland. Yuvraj Singh would emerge as one of the tournament's standout performers, producing all-round contributions that proved crucial to India's campaign. His ability to contribute with both bat and ball made him invaluable to India's balance, providing middle-order stability and wicket-taking options with his left-arm spin. Yuvraj's performances would earn him Player of the Tournament honors and establish him as central to India's success. The tournament's staging across India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh meant matches would be played in front of enormous, passionate crowds that created intense atmospheres. The subcontinental venues ranged from massive stadiums in major cities to grounds in smaller centers, with cricket fans throughout the region able to experience World Cup cricket firsthand. The home advantage for three co-hosts added complexity to predictions about tournament outcomes. As the tournament commenced, cricket fans anticipated a competition that would showcase the sport across the subcontinent's passionate cricket culture. India were favorites given home advantage and batting quality, though several teams possessed the talent to challenge for the title. The simplified format promised to reduce tournament length while maintaining competitive comprehensiveness. The stage was set for a World Cup that would deliver compelling cricket, dramatic moments, and ultimately crown the first host nation to win the tournament on home soil. The prize money had increased to approximately $3 million for winners, reflecting cricket's continued commercial growth and the tournament's enhanced value. The World Cup's commercial success demonstrated cricket's capacity to generate substantial revenues, particularly when staged in cricket-passionate regions like the subcontinent where enormous television audiences guaranteed strong advertising revenues. The financial success helped fund cricket's development worldwide while rewarding participating teams for their competitive achievements. The group stage of the 2011 Cricket World Cup unfolded with matches that would determine which 8 teams would advance to the quarter-finals. The 2 groups of 7 teams meant each side played 6 group matches, requiring consistent performances to secure one of the 4 qualification spots available from each group. As matches proceeded across India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh, several performances and matches stood out as exceptional achievements that enriched the tournament's narrative and demonstrated cricket's competitive depth. India's group stage performances showcased their batting excellence, with the team posting substantial totals and chasing targets through aggressive cricket that entertained enormous home crowds. Their top-order batsmen attacked from the outset, with Virender Sehwag's explosive opening batting providing rapid starts that established platforms for middle-order consolidation or acceleration. India's batting depth meant they could recover from early wickets or capitalize ruthlessly when openers provided foundations. Sachin Tendulkar's performances in his final World Cup generated enormous emotional investment from Indian cricket fans, who hoped to see their legendary batsman conclude his remarkable career by helping India claim the trophy. While Tendulkar's tournament statistics were solid rather than spectacular, his presence and experience provided invaluable leadership and stability. His 482 runs at average of 53.55 demonstrated sustained quality even as he approached the conclusion of his illustrious career. England and India produced one of the tournament's most remarkable matches when both teams tied at 338 runs apiece, the highest tied total in one-day international history at that time. The match showcased batting excellence from both sides, with batsmen dominating bowling attacks and posting enormous scores through aggressive cricket. The tie demonstrated that modern limited overs cricket had evolved toward higher scoring, with teams regularly posting totals that would have been considered exceptional in earlier eras. India faced Pakistan in a semi-final preview match at Mohali that attracted enormous attention given the rivalry between the nations. The match drew high-level diplomatic attendance, with political leaders from both countries watching alongside passionate cricket fans. India's victory in this politically charged encounter generated enormous celebration throughout India while demonstrating their capacity to perform under intense pressure and scrutiny. The match represented cricket's capacity to transcend sport and engage broader cultural and political dimensions. Sri Lanka progressed through the group stage with quality performances that established them as serious title contenders. Their team combined experienced players with emerging talents, creating balance that allowed them to compete effectively across different conditions. Kumar Sangakkara's elegant batting provided stability, while Lasith Malinga's distinctive bowling troubled batsmen throughout the tournament. Sri Lanka's consistent cricket earned them quarter-final qualification with performances suggesting they could challenge for the championship. Pakistan also qualified for the knockout stage despite inconsistent performances that characterized their tournament. Their talented squad possessed match winners capable of exceptional performances, though maintaining consistency across multiple matches tested their ability to sustain quality. Pakistan's progression meant they remained dangerous opponents capable of defeating any team when their players performed to potential, though their inconsistency made predicting their performances challenging. Australia's group stage performances were solid without recapturing the dominance that had characterized their previous World Cup campaigns. Their team featured quality players establishing themselves alongside remaining veterans from the championship era, though they lacked the overwhelming superiority that had made them favorites in previous tournaments. Australia's qualification for quarter-finals meant they remained contenders, though most observers viewed them as challengers rather than favorites. South Africa qualified from their group with performances that demonstrated their quality across all departments. Their batting featured power and technique, their bowling combined pace and spin effectively, and their fielding maintained high standards. South Africa approached the knockout stage as contenders, though their historical struggles in World Cup knockout matches created psychological challenges that would test their mental strength alongside their cricketing abilities. As the group stage concluded, 8 teams had qualified for the quarter-finals: India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, England, and the West Indies. These teams had earned progression through consistent performances across their group matches, demonstrating the quality needed to advance in a competitive tournament field. The quarterfinals would test teams' ability to perform under the pressure of single elimination matches where defeat meant immediate tournament exit. The decision review system functioned throughout the group stage, with teams using technology to challenge umpiring decisions and improve officiating accuracy. The DRS represented cricket's continued embrace of technology to enhance competitive fairness, though its implementation generated debate about optimal usage protocols and whether teams were deploying reviews strategically. The system's presence influenced tactical considerations, with teams needing to balance challenging potentially incorrect decisions against preserving reviews for later situations when errors might prove more costly to match outcomes and tournament progression hopes. The quarter-finals and semi-finals of the 2011 Cricket World Cup narrowed the field from 8 teams to the 2 finalists who would compete for the championship. The quarter-finals represented the first knockout round, with single elimination creating high-stakes matches where teams needed to perform at their peaks to survive. India's campaign through these knockout stages would be watched with intense interest given home expectations and the emotional significance of potentially claiming the trophy on home soil. India's quarter-final and semi-final victories demonstrated their capacity to perform under extreme pressure. Their batting quality allowed them to post substantial totals or chase targets through aggressive cricket that overwhelmed opponents. The home crowd support created atmospheres that inspired Indian performances while adding pressure to visiting teams. India's progression through knockout matches validated their status as tournament favorites and established them as deserving finalists. Pakistan's journey through the knockout stage demonstrated their capacity for exceptional performances when players performed to potential. Their quarter-final victory showcased the talent within their squad, though they would face India in the semi-final at Mohali in a match that transcended sport given the political and cultural dimensions of the rivalry. The semi-final represented one of tournament cricket's most anticipated matches. The India-Pakistan semi-final at Mohali attracted enormous global attention, with hundreds of millions watching as the rivals competed for a place in the final. The match's political and cultural significance elevated it beyond normal sporting competition, with the outcome carrying emotional weight far exceeding typical quarter-final or semi-final matches. India's victory generated celebrations throughout the country while demonstrating their ability to perform under the most intense pressure and scrutiny imaginable for Indian cricketers. Sri Lanka's progression through the knockout stage confirmed their status as quality opponents capable of challenging for the championship. Their consistent performances across group stage and knockouts demonstrated sustained excellence that characterized successful World Cup campaigns. Sri Lanka's advancement to the final meant they would face India in Mumbai, with the co-hosts seeking to claim the trophy while Sri Lanka hoped to win their second World Cup title. The other semi-final featured teams whose performances had earned them progression but who faced the challenge of defeating India or Sri Lanka to reach the final. The matches demonstrated cricket's competitive depth while also highlighting the advantages that subcontinental teams possessed when playing in home conditions where pitches, weather, and crowd support all favored their styles. The semi-finals sorted the field to the two best-performing teams who would contest the championship. As the semi-finals concluded, India and Sri Lanka had earned their places in the final through consistent quality across the tournament. India's campaign had been built on batting excellence and home crowd support, with their progression meeting expectations while also demonstrating their capacity to handle pressure. Sri Lanka's advancement represented sustained quality that had characterized their tournament, with their team combining experience and talent effectively. The final would determine which team would claim the World Cup trophy. South Africa's quarter-final exit continued their pattern of World Cup disappointments, with another elimination in knockout stages adding to their painful tournament history. Their inability to convert talent into championship success remained a psychological burden that would affect future campaigns. New Zealand, England, and other quarter-final participants could reflect on reaching knockout stages as achievements, though progression required exceptional performances that proved beyond their capabilities against quality opponents performing at peaks in high-pressure matches. Australia's quarter-final elimination marked the end of an era, with their dynasty officially concluded and new generation needing to establish itself. Their exit demonstrated that cricket's competitive landscape had shifted, with multiple nations now possessing quality to challenge for titles rather than Australian dominance that had characterized previous tournaments. The changing competitive balance suggested future World Cups would feature greater uncertainty about championship outcomes. The West Indies' participation in knockout stages represented resurgence for Caribbean cricket, with their performances suggesting potential for future tournament success if they could build on foundations established during this competition. Their talented players demonstrated capabilities that, when combined effectively, could challenge leading cricket nations. The knockout stage performances across all participating teams highlighted cricket's competitive depth while demonstrating that sustained tournament success required excellence across all departments combined with mental strength to perform under elimination match pressures. The quarter-final format's reintroduction proved successful in creating high-stakes knockout cricket earlier in tournaments, with elimination matches testing teams' abilities to perform under pressure when defeat meant immediate exit. The structure provided compelling cricket while efficiently narrowing fields to deserving finalists who had demonstrated sustained quality across both group stages and knockout rounds. The format's success influenced future tournament planning as organizers sought optimal structures balancing comprehensiveness against reasonable tournament duration that maintained spectator engagement throughout competitions. The final of the 2011 Cricket World Cup took place at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai on April 2, bringing together India and Sri Lanka in a match that would determine whether India could become the first host nation to win the World Cup on home soil. The occasion carried enormous emotional significance for Indian cricket, with the team seeking to claim the trophy in front of their passionate supporters and provide Sachin Tendulkar with the World Cup triumph that had eluded him across 6 tournaments. The atmosphere at Wankhede combined celebration with intense pressure. Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to bat first, posting a substantial total of 274 runs for 6 wickets that would require India to bat well throughout their innings to successfully chase. Sri Lanka's total was competitive without being overwhelming, falling into that range where the chasing team had realistic chances but would need quality cricket and partnership building to reach the target. Mahela Jayawardene's 97-run innings anchored Sri Lanka's batting, demonstrating his class and experience under the pressure of a World Cup final. India's chase began cautiously, with their batsmen recognizing the importance of building partnerships while maintaining reasonable scoring rates. Early wickets created pressure and tested India's depth, though the presence of quality batsmen throughout their order meant they retained realistic hopes of reaching the target even after losing early wickets. The chase developed into an absorbing contest as India accumulated runs while Sri Lanka sought breakthroughs. Gautam Gambhir played a crucial innings of 97 runs that steadied India's chase and provided the foundation for successful completion of the target. His batting combined determination with intelligent cricket, accumulating runs while preserving his wicket through difficult periods. Gambhir's contribution was essential to India's success, though it would be somewhat overshadowed by the captain's finishing contributions that secured victory. MS Dhoni, India's captain, produced an unbeaten innings of 91 runs that guided India to victory and secured his place in cricket history. His knock combined calmness under pressure with powerful hitting when opportunities arose, most memorably the six that sealed India's victory and sent Wankhede Stadium into rapturous celebration. Dhoni's ability to perform at his peak when stakes were highest demonstrated exceptional mental strength and match awareness. India successfully chased Sri Lanka's total, winning by 6 wickets with 10 balls remaining. The victory margin reflected India's superior execution during the chase, though Sri Lanka had competed effectively and made India work for their triumph. The win gave India their second World Cup title, 28 years after their first championship in 1983, and represented the first time a host nation had won the tournament on home soil. The victory was particularly poignant as it occurred in Sachin Tendulkar's 6th and final World Cup, with a legendary batsman finally claiming the trophy that had eluded him throughout his remarkable career. The image of Tendulkar being carried on teammates' shoulders in celebration became iconic, representing both individual achievement and team success. The win provided a fitting conclusion to Tendulkar's World Cup career. For Sri Lanka, the defeat represented disappointing conclusion to a tournament where their consistent performances had suggested they could claim a second championship. Their inability to post a larger total or defend what they had scored meant the final never developed into the tightly contested match their tournament quality had suggested was possible. Sri Lanka could reflect on reaching the final as achievement, though the defeat was particularly difficult given how close they had come. Yuvraj Singh's all-round contributions throughout the tournament earned him Player of the Tournament honors, with his 362 runs and 15 wickets demonstrating sustained excellence across multiple matches. His performances had been crucial to India's success, providing middle-order stability and wicket-taking options that made him invaluable to team balance. As India celebrated their historic triumph at Wankhede Stadium, cricket recognized that a deserving champion had claimed the trophy through quality performances across the tournament and ability to handle the enormous pressure of home expectations. India's victory completed one of tournament cricket's great narratives, with the team winning on home soil and providing Tendulkar with the World Cup triumph he had pursued across his entire career. The prize money of $3 million for winners reflected cricket's commercial growth, with the tournament generating substantial revenues through broadcasting rights and advertising. The World Cup's financial success demonstrated cricket's capacity to attract commercial investment when staged in cricket-passionate regions with guaranteed enormous television audiences. The commercial success helped fund cricket's development worldwide while rewarding successful teams for competitive achievements and sustained excellence across demanding tournaments requiring quality performances in multiple matches under varied pressures. The Wankhede Stadium atmosphere during the final represented one of cricket's great occasions. with passionate Indian supporters creating an environment that inspired home team performances while adding to visiting team challenges. The crowd celebrations when India secured victory demonstrated cricket's emotional significance in Indian culture, where the sport transcends typical athletic competition to become central to national identity and collective experience. Such atmospheres demonstrated why home advantage proved so valuable in tournament cricket. The 2011 Cricket World Cup's legacy centered on India becoming the first host nation to win the tournament on home soil, a historic achievement that validated home advantage while demonstrating India's quality across all tournament phases. The victory was particularly significant for occurring in Sachin Tendulkar's final World Cup, providing cricket's legendary batsman with the trophy that had eluded him throughout his remarkable career. The tournament also demonstrated the effectiveness of simplified formats that reduced length while maintaining competitive comprehensiveness. India's championship represented culmination of subcontinental cricket's growing dominance of the sport, both competitively and commercially. Their victory on home soil, built on batting excellence and passionate crowd support, demonstrated that India possessed the quality to win major tournaments when performing at their peaks. The triumph inspired celebration throughout the cricket-passionate nation and validated decades of cricket development investment. Sachin Tendulkar's presence in his sixth and final World Cup added enormous emotional significance to the tournament, with his quest for the trophy that had eluded him generating widespread support even from neutral observers. The victory provided fitting conclusion to Tendulkar's World Cup career, allowing him to retire having achieved success in cricket's premier limited overs competition. His career statistics and longevity established him among cricket's greatest players across all formats. MS Dhoni's captaincy throughout the tournament demonstrated tactical intelligence and mental strength that separated great leaders from merely competent ones. His unbeaten 91 in the final, sealed with a six, provided one of cricket's iconic moments and established him among India's greatest captains. Dhoni's ability to perform under pressure when stakes were highest exemplified the qualities required for championship success. Yuvraj Singh's 362 runs and 15 wickets as player of the tournament demonstrated sustained all-round excellence that made him invaluable to India's success. His contributions with both bat and ball provided team balance and flexibility that allowed India to adapt to different match situations. Yuvraj's performances established him as central to India's championship triumph. The simplified format that eliminated the Super 8 stage and proceeded directly from group stage to quarterfinals proved effective in reducing tournament length while maintaining competitive comprehensiveness. The structure produced compelling knockout cricket earlier in the tournament and addressed criticisms about excessive length that had characterized previous World Cups. Future tournaments would build on this streamlined approach. The comprehensive implementation of the decision review system throughout the tournament represented cricket's commitment to using technology for improving officiating standards. The DRS functioned effectively in reducing errors and enhancing competitive fairness, though debates continued about optimal protocols and whether teams deployed reviews strategically or wastefully. The system's success encouraged its continued development and refinement. The tied match between England and India at 338 runs demonstrated cricket's evolution toward higher scoring, with totals that would have been exceptional in earlier eras becoming increasingly common. The higher scoring created exciting matches but raised questions about whether bowling quality was declining or whether batting techniques and equipment improvements had shifted competitive balance too far toward batsmen. The tournament's commercial success, with prize money reaching approximately $3 million for winners, reflected cricket's continued economic growth and the World Cup's enhanced commercial value. The subcontinental staging guaranteed enormous television audiences that generated substantial advertising revenues, demonstrating cricket's commercial potential when tournaments occurred in cricket-passionate regions. The 2011 World Cup confirmed that host nations could leverage home advantages into championship success when they possessed the quality to compete with leading cricket nations. India's victory demonstrated that playing in familiar conditions with passionate crowd support provided meaningful advantages that could prove decisive in close contests. The triumph established India as world champions in limited overs cricket and provided one of cricket's great tournament narratives. The India-Pakistan semi-final at Mohali attracted viewing figures estimated at hundreds of millions, demonstrating cricket's capacity to generate enormous audiences for compelling fixtures between traditional rivals. The match's political and cultural dimensions elevated it beyond normal sporting competition, creating moments that transcended cricket and engaged broader social contexts. Such fixtures demonstrated cricket's unique position in subcontinental culture, where the sport carries significance extending far beyond typical athletic competition. The tournament confirmed that simplified formats could maintain competitive integrity while addressing concerns about excessive length. The quarter-final structure created compelling knockout cricket earlier in tournaments while ensuring worthy champions emerged through sustained quality across group stages and high-pressure elimination matches. Future World Cups would continue refining formats based on lessons learned from the 2011 competition's successful streamlined approach. Mahela Jayawardene's 97 in the final demonstrated Sri Lankan batting quality even in defeat, with his elegant innings showcasing technical excellence that characterized his distinguished career. Such performances reminded observers that tournament success required not just quality but also execution on specific days when stakes were highest. Cricket's nature meant that exceptional performances could occur in defeat, with players demonstrating their class even when team outcomes proved disappointing. The 7th Cricket World Cup arrived in 1999, with the tournament returning to England for the first time since 1983, though this edition would extend beyond England's borders to include matches in Scotland, Ireland, and the Netherlands for warm-up games. The tournament represented cricket's most ambitious organizational undertaking to date, featuring 12 teams competing across multiple nations in a format designed to maximize matches between leading teams while providing opportunities for associate members to compete at the highest level. The 1999 World Cup would introduce innovations while building on successful elements from previous tournaments. The format adopted a Super Six structure that represented a significant departure from previous tournament designs. The 12 teams were divided into 2 groups of 6, with each team playing the others in their group in round-robin matches. However, rather than simply taking the top teams from each group to knockout stages, the top 3 teams from each group would advance to a Super Six stage. This innovative round would see the 6 qualifiers playing each other, with teams carrying forward points from matches against other qualifiers from their initial group. The top 4 teams from the Super Six would then advance to semi-finals. This complex format was designed to ensure that leading teams faced each other multiple times during the tournament, reducing the possibility that strong teams might meet only once or not at all. The structure meant that matches between top teams in the initial group stage carried forward into the Super Six, rewarding consistent performances across both rounds. However, the format's complexity confused some spectators and created situations where certain matches had reduced significance due to points being carried forward. The tournament retained the innovations that had become standard for World Cup cricket: colored clothing, white balls, and day-night matches under floodlights. These elements had proven successful in making limited overs cricket visually distinctive and accessible to broader audiences, and their continuation demonstrated cricket's acceptance of changes that had initially sparked controversy. The aesthetic of World Cup cricket was now firmly established, with only minor refinements to presentation rather than fundamental changes to how the game looked. The 12 participating teams consisted of the established test-playing nations alongside associate members who had qualified through preliminary competitions. Australia, England, India, New Zealand, Pakistan, South Africa, Sri Lanka, West Indies, and Zimbabwe were joined by Bangladesh, Kenya, and Scotland. This mix of traditional powers and emerging nations created a diverse field that showcased cricket's global reach while also highlighting the gap in quality between established and developing cricket countries. The tournament became the first World Cup with an official website and real-time scoring available online, reflecting the growing importance of internet technology in sports coverage. Fans worldwide could access scores, statistics, and information about the tournament through digital platforms, expanding the World Cup's reach beyond traditional media like television and radio. This innovation demonstrated cricket's embrace of emerging technologies and foreshadowed the digital transformation that would revolutionize sports consumption in subsequent decades. Australia arrived as strong favorites, possessing quality throughout their lineup with batsmen, bowlers, and fielders all capable of match-winning contributions. Their team featured established stars and emerging talents, creating a blend of experience and youth that made them formidable opponents. South Africa also carried expectations of strong performance, having developed into consistent contenders in limited overs cricket. Pakistan, as defending champions from 1992, hoped to reclaim the trophy, while England as hosts sought to finally win the World Cup that had eluded them in previous attempts. The tournament's commercial success was reflected in substantially increased prize money, with winners receiving approximately £1 million. This doubling of the prize pool from previous tournaments demonstrated cricket's growing economic value and the World Cup's enhanced commercial potential. The financial success would help fund cricket's continued development worldwide, supporting infrastructure improvements and grassroots programs that expanded the sport's reach. The India-Pakistan match at Old Trafford would attract enormous attention, with viewing figures exceeding 500 million as fans across the subcontinent tuned in to watch the rivalry match. While some estimates suggested viewing figures approached 1 billion, more conservative and reliable measurements indicated over 500 million viewers, still representing one of the largest television audiences for a cricket match. The match's enormous viewership demonstrated cricket's capacity to generate massive audiences for compelling fixtures between traditional rivals. The tournament featured 42 matches across the group stage, Super Six, and knockout rounds, creating an extensive competition that tested teams' consistency and depth across multiple games. The lengthy tournament meant teams needed squad depth to handle the physical and mental demands of repeated matches, with injuries and fatigue potentially influencing results. The format's complexity and length would generate debate about optimal tournament structures, with discussions about balancing comprehensiveness against excessive duration. As the tournament commenced, cricket fans anticipated a competition that would showcase the sport's global appeal and competitive depth. The Super Six format promised that leading teams would face each other multiple times, ensuring worthy semi-finalists emerged through sustained quality performances. Australia were favourites, but tournament cricket's unpredictable nature meant any team could prevail through exceptional performances when stakes were highest. The stage was set for a World Cup that would deliver compelling cricket, dramatic moments, and establish Australia as the dominant force in limited overs cricket for years to come. The group stage of the 1999 Cricket World Cup unfolded with matches that would determine which 6 teams would advance to the Super Six stage, where points from matches against fellow qualifiers would carry forward. The 2 groups of 6 teams meant each side played 5 group matches, with performances needing to be consistent enough to secure one of the 3 qualification spots available from each group. As matches proceeded across England and other venues, several performances stood out as exceptional achievements that would be remembered long after the tournament concluded. India's batting partnership between Rahul Dravid and Sourav Ganguly produced one of the tournament's most remarkable statistical achievements when they added 318 runs against Sri Lanka, establishing what was then the record partnership in one-day international cricket. The stand demonstrated batting of the highest quality, with both players combining classical technique with intelligent shot selection and excellent running between wickets. Dravid and Ganguly's ability to build such a substantial partnership showed that patient accumulation combined with appropriate acceleration could produce enormous totals. The partnership's significance extended beyond its immediate statistical milestone. It demonstrated that Indian batting possessed the quality and depth to compete with any nation in limited overs cricket, challenging perceptions that India's strength lay primarily in spin bowling or that their batsmen struggled in overseas conditions. The stand showcased the evolution of Indian cricket, with players combining traditional technical excellence with modern limited overs aggression and innovative shot-making. New Zealand's Jeff Allott emerged as a leading wicket-taker, claiming 20 dismissals to join the tournament's bowling honors alongside Shane Warne, who also took 20 wickets. Allott's left-arm pace bowling troubled batsmen throughout the competition, with his ability to swing the ball and maintain accuracy creating consistent pressure. His success demonstrated that quality pace bowling remained effective in limited overs cricket despite increasing batting aggression and higher scoring matches. Allott's performance established him among the tournament's standout performers. Shane Warne's 20 wickets represented another exceptional bowling achievement, with Australia's legendary leg spinner demonstrating that quality spin bowling could dominate in World Cup cricket. Warne's success came through his repertoire of variations, tactical intelligence, and ability to create pressure through economical bowling and regular breakthroughs. His partnership with other Australian bowlers gave Australia a versatile attack capable of succeeding in diverse conditions and against varied opposition styles. The Super 6 format's complexity became apparent during the group stage, with some spectators struggling to understand how points would carry forward and which matches would retain significance in subsequent rounds. The format meant that matches between teams who both qualified from the same group carried forward their results to the Super 6 stage, while matches against teams who failed to qualify were essentially erased. This created situations where certain group matches had implications for the Super 6, while others became less significant than traditional group stage contests. The tournament witnessed several high-scoring matches where teams posted totals exceeding 250 runs, reflecting the continued evolution toward more aggressive batting and higher scoring in limited overs cricket. Batsmen worldwide had embraced more attacking approaches, influenced partly by Sri Lanka's power play revolution in 1996 and partly by improving techniques and equipment. The higher scoring created exciting matches that appealed to spectators but also tested bowling quality and strategic approaches. England's performance as hosts generated mixed results, with the team showing capability to compete with leading nations but also experiencing inconsistency that prevented them from dominating as home advantage might have suggested. English cricket fans hoped their team could leverage familiar conditions into a deep tournament run, though achieving that goal would require performances at their peak consistently across multiple matches. The pressure of hosting added another dimension to England's challenge. Pakistan's defense of their 1992 title proved challenging, with the team showing flashes of the brilliance that had characterized their previous World Cup triumph but also suffering from the inconsistency that had often marked Pakistani cricket. Their talented squad possessed match winners throughout the lineup, but translating potential into consistent performances across a lengthy tournament tested their ability to maintain focus and execution under pressure. As the group stage concluded, the 6 Super 6 qualifiers emerged from the round-robin results. Australia, Pakistan, and New Zealand advanced from one group, while South Africa, India, and Zimbabwe progressed from the other. These 6 teams had earned progression through consistent performances across their group matches, demonstrating the quality needed to advance in an expanded tournament field. The Super 6 stage would further test these qualifiers, with matches determining which 4 teams would reach the semi-finals and compete for spots in the final. The first World Cup website and real-time online scoring represented significant innovations that changed how fans consumed tournament cricket. Supporters worldwide could access detailed statistics, match information, and live scores through internet platforms, expanding the World Cup's reach beyond traditional broadcast media. This digital presence foreshadowed the comprehensive online coverage that would become standard for major sporting events, with cricket embracing technological changes that enhanced fan engagement and accessibility. The innovation demonstrated cricket's recognition that serving audiences required adapting to new consumption patterns and technological capabilities. The Super 6 stage of the 1999 Cricket World Cup brought together the 6 qualifiers from the group stage in a round-robin competition where teams carried forward points from matches against fellow qualifiers from their initial groups. This innovative format meant that performances in the group stage retained significance into the Super 6, with teams having already accumulated points before the round officially began. The structure was designed to ensure leading teams faced each other multiple times, though its complexity continued generating confusion among spectators trying to understand standings and qualification scenarios. Australia dominated the Super 6 stage, winning their matches with performances that established them as clear favorites for the tournament. Their batting lineup featured quality throughout, with multiple players capable of match-winning contributions. Their bowling attack combined pace and spin effectively, creating pressure through economical bowling and regular breakthroughs. Australia's fielding standards were exceptional, with athletic performances saving runs and creating opportunities through direct hits and spectacular catches. The combination of excellence across all departments made Australia formidable opponents. South Africa also performed strongly during the Super 6, their quality cricket earning them progression toward the semi-finals. The team possessed talented batsmen, versatile bowlers, and committed fielders who executed their skills effectively under pressure. South Africa approached matches with intensity and tactical awareness, though the psychological weight of never having won a World Cup knockout match added pressure to their campaign. Their tournament performances suggested they could challenge for the title if they overcame their knockout stage struggles. Pakistan's progress through the Super 6 demonstrated the talent within their squad, with match winners throughout their lineup capable of producing exceptional performances. Their cricket combined moments of brilliance with occasional inconsistency, reflecting patterns that had often characterized Pakistani cricket. The team's ability to perform when stakes were highest would be tested in the knockout stages, where execution under pressure determined tournament success or failure. The semi-finals would produce one of cricket's most dramatic and controversial moments, with South Africa facing Australia in a match that would become infamous for how it concluded. The contest developed into a closely fought affair, with both teams producing quality cricket under the enormous pressure of a World Cup semi-final. As the match progressed toward its climax, South Africa needed runs from the final deliveries to secure victory and reach their first World Cup final. The match's conclusion involved Alan Donald being run out in chaotic circumstances, with confusion between the batsmen leading to a dismissal that tied the match. The tie meant Australia progressed to the final based on their superior position in the Super 6 standings, eliminating South Africa in heartbreaking fashion. The image of Donald's devastation after the run-out, combined with South Africa's ongoing inability to win World Cup knockout matches, created one of cricket's most poignant moments. The controversy surrounding the match's conclusion centered on whether the match should have been tied at all, with questions about umpiring decisions and the fairness of using Super 6 standings as a tiebreaker for semi-finals. South African supporters felt their team had been denied a fair opportunity to reach the final through circumstances partly beyond their control. The incident added to South Africa's reputation for dramatic World Cup exits and highlighted the fine margins that often determined knockout cricket outcomes. The second semi-final featured Pakistan against New Zealand, a contest that would determine the other finalist. Pakistan's quality proved decisive, with their performances earning progression to the final at Lord's, where they would face Australia. The victory represented Pakistan's ability to perform in knockout matches, though they would face an Australian team operating at peak efficiency and confidence. The semi-final results established that the final would feature two quality teams with legitimate title aspirations. South Africa's elimination through the tied match became one of the tournament's defining moments, overshadowing much of the quality cricket that had characterized their campaign. The heartbreak of coming so close to reaching a World Cup final, only to be eliminated by a tiebreaker after a dramatic run-out, exemplified the cruel nature of knockout cricket where small moments could determine fates. The incident would become part of South African cricket's narrative of World Cup disappointments. Australia's progression to the final confirmed their status as the tournament's strongest team, with consistent excellence across the Super Six and semi-finals demonstrating their quality and depth. They had navigated the complex format successfully, winning crucial matches and maintaining performance standards throughout the lengthy tournament. Pakistan's advancement represented their ability to produce quality cricket when needed, though they would face an Australian team that appeared destined for championship success. The final would determine whether Australia could claim their second World Cup title or whether Pakistan would produce another unexpected triumph like 1992. The Super Six format, while designed to maximize matches between leading teams, had proven confusing for many spectators and created debates about whether the complexity was justified by the benefits. The structure had ensured that top teams faced each other multiple times, though some argued that simpler formats could achieve similar outcomes without the confusion about points carried forward and tiebreaker scenarios. Future tournaments would reconsider format structures, seeking to balance comprehensiveness with clarity and accessibility for audiences trying to follow tournament progression. The final of the 1999 Cricket World Cup took place at Lord's on June 20th, bringing together Australia and Pakistan in a match that would determine which nation would claim the trophy and be crowned world champions. The occasion represented Australia's opportunity to claim their second World Cup title after their 1987 triumph, while Pakistan sought to repeat their 1992 success. The atmosphere at Lord's combined tradition with anticipation, as cricket fans worldwide watched to see whether Australia's dominant tournament performances would culminate in championship success. Pakistan won the toss and elected to bat first, a decision that placed responsibility on their batsmen to post a competitive total that would pressure Australia. The Pakistani innings faced immediate challenges from Australia's bowling attack, with Shane Warne and other bowlers creating pressure through accurate bowling and intelligent variations. Pakistan's batsmen struggled to build substantial partnerships or accelerate effectively against bowling that maintained consistent pressure throughout the innings. Shane Warne's performance in the final epitomized his influence on the match and the tournament overall. His 4 wickets for 33 runs represented bowling of exceptional quality under the pressure of a World Cup final, with his leg spin troubling Pakistani batsmen and preventing them from building the momentum needed for a competitive total. Warne's ability to deliver match-winning performances when stakes were highest had been evident throughout his career, and the final provided another example of his capacity to dominate crucial matches. Pakistan concluded their 50 overs having scored only 132 runs, a total that appeared woefully inadequate and would require miraculous bowling and fielding to defend successfully. The low score reflected both Australia's bowling excellence and Pakistan's batting struggles, with the combination producing a total that gave Pakistan virtually no chance of victory. The meager score meant Australia would need only steady batting rather than exceptional performances to claim the trophy. Australia's chase of such a modest target proceeded with appropriate caution, their batsmen recognizing that reckless cricket could create unnecessary drama but that sensible batting would secure victory comfortably. The Australian innings never faced serious pressure, with Pakistan's bowlers unable to create the breakthroughs that might have generated tension. Australia's batsmen accumulated runs steadily, finding boundaries when opportunities arose while also rotating strike effectively. Australia reached the target with 8 wickets in hand, securing victory by a margin that reflected their dominance throughout the match. The 8-wicket victory represented a comprehensive performance, demonstrating that Australia had been the superior team across all departments. Their bowling had restricted Pakistan severely. Their batting had chased the modest target without serious difficulty, and their fielding had maintained the high standards that characterized their tournament performances. The victory gave Australia their second Cricket World Cup title, confirming their status as one of limited overs cricket's powerhouse nations. The triumph was particularly satisfying after 12 years since their previous World Cup success in 1987, with the 1999 victory establishing Australia as the dominant force in limited overs cricket. The win would be the first of 3 consecutive World Cup finals for Australia, beginning a period of sustained excellence that would see them dominate the format. Shane Warne's man-of-the-match performance in the final, combined with his 20 wickets across the tournament, established him as one of the competition's standout performers. His leg-spin bowling had been crucial to Australia's success, providing breakthroughs and maintaining pressure through economical bowling. Warne's tournament performances demonstrated that quality spin bowling could dominate in World Cup cricket when executed with skill, tactical intelligence, and the ability to perform under pressure. For Pakistan, the heavy defeat represented a disappointing conclusion to a tournament where they had shown capability to compete with leading nations. Their inability to post a competitive total in the final meant the match never developed into the contest their tournament performances had suggested was possible. Pakistan could reflect on reaching the final as an achievement, though the manner of defeat made the outcome particularly difficult to accept. Australia's dominance throughout the final reflected their superiority across the entire tournament, with consistent excellence in batting, bowling, and fielding establishing them as worthy champions. Their ability to perform at peak levels when stakes were highest demonstrated the mental strength and skill that characterized championship teams. The victory at Lord's completed a successful campaign that had seen Australia navigate the complex Super 6 format and deliver quality cricket when it mattered most. As Australia celebrated their second World Cup title and Steve Waugh lifted the trophy at Lord's, cricket recognized that a new era of Australian dominance in limited overs cricket had begun. The team's combination of talent, tactical intelligence, and mental strength suggested they would remain formidable opponents for years to come. The 1999 World Cup had established Australia as the benchmark that other nations would need to match if they hoped to challenge for future World Cup titles. The final at Lord's had attracted enormous global attention, with the match broadcast to millions of cricket fans worldwide. The venue's significance as cricket's spiritual home lent the occasion appropriate gravitas, connecting the modern tournament to the sport's rich heritage and traditions. Australia's comprehensive victory provided a definitive conclusion to a tournament that had showcased cricket's competitive depth and global appeal, with the champions demonstrating the consistent excellence required to prevail in World Cup competition. The 1999 Cricket World Cup's legacy extended beyond Australia's dominant championship victory, establishing new standards for tournament organization, digital engagement, and demonstrating the increasing gap between cricket's leading nations and emerging countries. The tournament showcased cricket's capacity to stage major competitions across multiple nations while embracing technological innovations that enhanced fan engagement and accessibility. Australia's victory began a period of dominance that would see them become the benchmark for limited overs cricket excellence. The introduction of the first official World Cup website and real-time online scoring represented a watershed moment in how cricket tournaments engaged with global audiences. Fans worldwide could access detailed statistics, match information, and live scores through internet platforms, fundamentally changing how people consumed cricket beyond traditional broadcast media. This digital innovation foreshadowed the comprehensive online coverage that would become standard for major sporting events, with cricket demonstrating forward-thinking embrace of technological changes that enhanced accessibility. The Super 6 format's complexity generated significant debate about optimal tournament structures, with many questioning whether the benefits justified the confusion about standings and tiebreakers. The format had maximized matches between leading teams, though spectator confusion suggested simpler structures might better serve tournament objectives while maintaining accessibility. Australia's comprehensive victory established them as limited overs cricket's dominant force, beginning an unprecedented period of World Cup success. Their excellence across all departments combined with tactical intelligence created a template that other nations studied. Australia's approach to limited overs cricket influenced how teams worldwide prepared for the format. Shane Warne's 20 wickets and match-winning final performance demonstrated that quality leg spin bowling could dominate World Cup cricket when executed with skill and tactical intelligence. His success validated the value of wrist spin in limited overs cricket during an era when pace bowling often received greater emphasis. Warne's tournament performances inspired emerging leg spinners worldwide and reminded selectors that varied bowling attacks incorporating quality spin could provide advantages over pace-dominated lineups. The Dravid-Ganguly partnership's 318 runs established a new benchmark for ODI partnerships, demonstrating that patient accumulation combined with appropriate acceleration could produce enormous totals. The record stand showcased evolving batting techniques and partnerships' importance in building substantial scores. The achievement highlighted India's batting depth and quality, suggesting they possessed the talent to compete with any nation in limited overs cricket when performances met potential. South Africa's semi-final elimination through the tied match and Donald's runout became part of cricket's folklore, adding to narratives about dramatic World Cup exits and the fine margins determining knockout cricket outcomes. The incident demonstrated that tournament success required both quality cricket and fortune in crucial moments. South Africa's ongoing inability to progress beyond semi-finals would become a recurring theme in subsequent World Cups, creating psychological challenges that added pressure to future campaigns. The tournament's commercial success, with prize money reaching approximately £1 million, reflected cricket's continued economic growth and the World Cup's enhanced commercial value. Broadcasting rights had become increasingly valuable, with the tournament attracting enormous television audiences worldwide. The India-Pakistan match's 500 million-plus viewership demonstrated cricket's capacity to generate massive audiences for compelling fixtures, particularly matches involving subcontinental rivals. The expanded 12-team format had provided opportunities for more nations to compete at the highest level, though matches often exposed significant quality gaps between established test-playing nations and emerging cricket countries. Associate members like Kenya and Scotland had gained valuable experience competing against the world's best teams, though their results generally confirmed the competitive hierarchy. The format raised ongoing questions about balancing inclusivity with competitive integrity in World Cup tournaments. The tournament had successfully extended beyond England to include matches in Scotland and Ireland, demonstrating that World Cups could incorporate multiple nations while maintaining organizational quality. This geographic expansion represented cricket's commitment to reaching diverse audiences and providing opportunities for different communities to experience World Cup cricket firsthand. The multi-nation approach would influence future tournament planning, encouraging broader geographic distribution of matches. The 1999 World Cup confirmed several truths about tournament cricket that would endure across future competitions. Consistent excellence across multiple matches proved essential for championship success, as Australia had demonstrated. Quality in all departments, batting, bowling, and fielding, separated champions from contenders. Mental strength and the ability to perform under pressure when stakes were highest determined outcomes in crucial matches. tournament formats needed to balance comprehensiveness with accessibility, ensuring spectators could follow progression without excessive complexity. As Australia celebrated their second World Cup title, cricket recognized that the tournament had successfully embraced digital innovation while maintaining competitive standards that produced worthy champions. The Super 6 format's complexity had generated debate, but the cricket quality had been high throughout the competition. Australia's dominance suggested they would remain formidable opponents for years to come, establishing themselves as the team to beat in limited overs cricket. The 1999 World Cup had demonstrated cricket's capacity to evolve while preserving what made the sport compelling, ensuring the tournament would continue growing in prestige and popularity for future generations.